Yes, sir.
We are live. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Big Assas. We back. This is week 2, baby. This is Scope This. Got you guys locked in. I got a special guest with me, a co-host, man, my brother, a long-time friend. I've known this guy for a long time. And he's the main reason, or part of the main reason, why I am an artist today. So salute to my brother, Rad One. He is in the building.
Yes. Rad Uno.
Rad Uno, smash like a sumo. What's good, brother? How you been?
Good. A little LBS situation going on right quick.
Yeah.
So I had to smash down some chocolate covered marshmallow cookies. Which is popping right now. A little dry, but it serves its purpose.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for the shout out.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. If you guys haven't known what this show's about, if you guys ain't tuned in, again, I do have eyes. They there. All right. The show Scope, this is basically, a little bit about barbershop banter. We'll be talking good stuff. We'll be talking bad stuff sometimes. It depends on what you're into. At the same time, you can hit us up on the Twitch. It's on Be Terrific, I guess, most likely. You guys can send us, talk to us, and we'll answer your questions as best as possible. You also can check us out on Facebook Live. Go to Be Terrific on Facebook, man. The page is up there. Follow us, like us. You already know it's here. We're here on Be Terrific, man. It's a dope situation. I got my boy Rad in the building, and last week I got a little trolled, so we're gonna incorporate that into the show. Every week you can actually hit me up and let me know if you guys want to, what I should talk about, what we should be discussing here. And last week, it was limes versus lemons.
I like both. I like both.
My boy
so
Rad
we can
likes
talk
both.
about it. Let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you first. Limes versus lemons, Rad. You like both?
I'm neutral. I like them both. I like limes. Because you throw that in some papaya salad, and it got to be extra spicy. Throw that in limes. I like limes in my Asian food. So, like you Asian food, pardon me. I'm over here slurping. But, you people who like Asian food, and you like the pho, you got to throw some lime in there. You know what I mean? But I like lemons, too. To me, a lime is a lemon that ain't turned yellow. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing, man. Throw your lemons for tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But please, y'all people out there, don't say Cinco de Mayo to the Puerto Ricans. We get offended for that.
It's a little different. It's a little different.
You gotta throw you gotta throw your lemons in your Coronas.
Facts.
And your Heinekens, because then it keeps it from turning bad. When it gets a little warm, you can actually drink it back down.
That's for all our drinking friends out there. If you didn't already know, I know you know.
But, and I made me some lemonade with some lime. Call it lemonade. Lemonade.
Lemonade.
Oh, you know what I mean? But I make lemonade, you know what I mean? I like them both.
All right, man.
So lemon and limes, man, they the same. They both good. Serves its purpose.
All right, well, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I am more of a lime fan, all right? I like limes.
That's from drinking all that Mountain Dew and that 7-Up.
Yo, David, what's up, man? I see you. Thank you so much. Yes, you already know. Salute. Scope this posse. Peace out, brother. Let's keep it rocking, day. All right, well, I like limes, and for me, it's more or less along the lines of I am Hispanic, I am Puerto Rican. I grew up. Well, my family is from Puerto Rico, so when I was young, I would go to grandma's backyard and she had a lime tree. And we would always pick the lime tree. My uncle used to have a little BB gun and he would shoot the little limes off the trees. And we would pick them. And every year, even now that I'm grown, when I do head back to Puerto Rico, we go to grandma's house, we make sure we get limes. My dad, God bless the dead, very good man, used to make some killer ass limeade, bro. I'm telling you, some killer ass limeade. So for me, I'm more of a fan of the lime. Like you said, sometimes if you eat the spicy food, the chilies with the lime, you know what I'm saying? When you cooking, sometimes I'm a fat boy, so I know about cooking as well. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a skinny fat boy.
He's a skinny fat boy. He used to be a fat boy.
I was a big boy.
He was a big boy before, so he knows also about the cooking and stuff. So
totally a big boy.
So I'm more of a bigger fan of the lime, though. I know. So salute to the last week. You know what I'm saying? The suggestion was lemons and limes. I'm more of a bigger fan of the limes, though. Because
if my son could
like
speak,
I said,
Joshua would tell you he loved lemons.
Yeah.
Because ever since I started taking him, get him acclimated to restaurants.
Yeah.
and you know they give us like
the lemon water?
the lemon slices. I thought you give some to the babies, they puck up. He was taking that down like if it was orange slices, and so he definitely was liking the bitter stuff.
He's definitely down with the lemonade family
so he definitely for the lemon.
See,
I like them both.
Key lime pie, bro. I'm just saying.
Lemon meringue.
I know lemon meringue is
good. It's the same thing. I don't know. It's the same ballpark, man. You know, a lot of whipped white eggs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
White eggs. That's a fact.
So it's the same thing. I like them both. Yeah. You can't choose. Not with me. Not with me.
So that was for the troll. Thank you very much, man. And thanks for the suggestions. But if anybody else watching, you guys wanted to give a suggestion, some things I might not discuss, some things I might, definitely put on the forefront of the topics that I have here.
Let's do it.
Today is May 4th.
Yes,
and it's the
May
day
the
before,
4th be with you.
And it's the day before Cinco de Mayo. So all the Star Wars heads.
I was definitely tempted to come here with my Darth Vader helmet.
He was. He was actually going to bring it, and I kind of, we should have brought it, man. Maybe I kind of was thinking, people going to be like, yo, this dude really sitting in a hot studio with
I was going to do that.
Helmet on. So I don't know, but a lot of people, may the Force be with you instead of the Fourth.
May the Fourth be with you.
May the Fourth be with you. So the Han Solo movie's coming out pretty soon. And I think it's coming out.
I don't know if it
sometime in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
I thought it would have came out today. I thought it would have been perfect to play it off, to lay the drop on this Friday.
I know, right?
And then do the May 4th. May the 4th.
Hasbro got a thing of, if they're gonna release a movie, Hasbro would do it after that because May the 4th plays along with more like with them pushing their agenda for the toys, the games, and stuff like that. So, and Target has a little thing with Hasbro where May the 4th really plays in, for that. So I definitely, that's what they was more leaning towards. They want to sell their toys and gear their toys before the movie comes out.
So that's the setup. See, I don't know nothing about that.
Toy collector,
toy collector as well. So Rad definitely break down a little bit of that for you as well. He knows about the toys, but I don't know. I just feel like they should have done. It could have been close. It could have been close with the whole thing. It's close enough because it comes out in the next 2 weeks or so. But I wanted to ask you, since you're such a big Star Wars buff, how do you feel about this spinoff? Like, it's a complete spinoff.
I'm feeling it. I'm really like. I think it was long overdue. You know what I mean? It definitely should have been something that should have been came out. But I guess the timing was right too. Long overdue, definitely. But you get to see Han Solo when he was at his prime. You get to see Lando,
and when he was in his prime,
and all the stories that you hear in the movies where Han Solo talks about how he got the Millennium Falcon. So you get to see Millennium Falcon, when it was brand new before it was a Uncle Jump.
Before it got
and when Lando used to own it, and how he lost it to Han Solo in the card game.
Oh, I was gonna say, man, my son Lando hit on hard times. He had to sell it.
You know what I'm saying? Nah. He lost it to Han, and how Han Solo met Chewbacca. You know what I mean? His prime. And Han Solo had a wife and kids. You know what I mean? So not too many people knew that.
But that was my thing. Like, remember, Han Solo wasn't a main character. He was still a supporting character.
Right.
So for them to want to give you a Bob drop, that's got to be kind of cool.
I think it's dope. And then you're gonna get to actually see some of the Mandalorians, the Boba Fett people, you know what I mean, and they crew and shit. So you get a little
bit more insight.
And my son Woody Harrelson, come on, man.
He in this?
Yeah,
I didn't even know he was in this.
Yeah, so and they talk about the Kessel Run, how everybody talking about how the Millennium Falcon, he made the Kessel Run in less than 15 parsecs.
Oh, so they basically gonna go and basically they're gonna take a lot of tidbits from the original films.
Yeah, and they
to tap into this to give you a little bit more
and
like
give you
history.
the story, and give you the history behind that. So I can't wait, dude. I gotta go see that.
Man, listen, I'm gonna go see it. I came on to Star Wars a little later, so I definitely want to see it because I like the backdrops. Like I like the last couple of movies because they explain the first three.
Right.
Like I saw the first three when I was a kid. Obviously, this was years ago, and so I'm not even gonna front. Sometimes when I don't know something about Star Wars, I call Rad. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows a lot about the stuff. He knows a lot about the backdrop and stuff. So I was watching one of the last films, and I'm watching it, and literally as I'm watching it, I'm like, I call Rad, yo, bro, what the heck is going on? And excuse me, he sits there and proceeds to actually break it down to me to the point that now I understand exactly what's going on and what part it was in the movie and all of that. So I was like, yo, that's kind of cool. Like, I phoned a friend, baby. I didn't know what was happening. And I was like, yo, let me call Red. And he basically broke it down to me.
If only you could win some millions for that trivia, right?
Yeah, if only I could have won, millions of dollars.
That would have been a good one.
That would have been a good question on
for real.
Millionaire, whatever. But it's just funny that, you know what I'm saying? Some of that culture, because, you know, in today's day and age, with the millennials, a lot of stuff that is in the past or stuff from the past has been stuck there and left trapped.
Right.
But George Lucas has figured out a way to still bridge that gap a little bit, because a lot of the young kids still go out to see the new movies.
Well, we got Disney to thank, behind that.
And of course, the older folks that still are fans, they go out to do that as well, man.
And you know, us diehard fans, we kind of like instill it to our children, and our children, you know, bring it on. But we also have the Disney to think about that too. You know, Disney, you know, bought the rights to Lucasfilms, even though some of these, you know, diehard fanatics, Star Wars fanatics, I don't want to, but some of them would say, you know, that Lucas shouldn't have sold it. But, you know, to each his own. You know what I mean? That's neither here nor there. But, you know, I'm kind of glad that they did it, because now they have like a limited budget, so to speak, you know, and look at all these movies that's coming out. You know, it's not just Star Wars episode this and episode that. You got Han Solo, you got the Rogue One,
but,
you got, you know what I mean?
That's the thing I want to ask you, like, how far do you think they're gonna go? Like, how far do you think they're gonna?
I'd like to see a C-3PO and an R2-D2 movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how they linked up.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Well, I mean, we kind of know how they linked up. You know what I mean, more or less. But to be honest with you, the real story of Star Wars is actually the odyssey of the two droids, because the droids been through all the, you know what I mean, from beginning to end.
So they basically recorded the whole history, basically.
Right,
like,
yeah, more or less. Happening. But and if, you know, and me and your generation, you know what I mean, like when we was little, we had the cartoons every Saturday morning. Remember Star Wars droids?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I like to see a little spin-off of that. You know what I mean? And I definitely would like to see a spin-off for a Boba Fett movie. You know what I mean? Like I would have
to me, he's more and all right.
A bounty hunters movie. You know what I'm saying?
A bounty hunters movie.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean?
And I feel like, you know, because there's some classic characters that they left out into the sea. They just wanted you to yearn more to know more about them. And even to this day, the bounty hunters are still such a small part of that universe of like they put
everybody
out.
knows them, you know what I mean? And they should definitely do a movie about that.
They should definitely do a movie about that. That's probably already in the works, bro.
Hopefully,
you know, they're not playing. They
and if y'all if y'all watching this and y'all decide, oh yeah, let's do that movie, we want credit. We want credit for real.
I'm just saying, I pretty much think they already did it up, but I'm quite sure there's someone already like, yeah, we're gonna line that up soon.
Yeah, man. You know, IG-88, Boba Fett, Dengar. You know what I mean? I mean, the works, Forlong, Zuckus, all of them. You know what I mean? Like that's the nerd in me talking.
Yeah, but you know, those it's the Star Wars.
Those are the bodyguards. I mean, the body hunters, the bodyguards. But definitely, you know what I mean? That'll be a good flick. That'd be awesome. I think I think if they're gonna do it right, it should be like a 3-picture, you know, event for the bounty
because
hunters.
they have to they also have to break down why these guys are bounty hunters.
Yeah, and, you know what I mean.
You know, and show them going after different bounties. It ain't just
not just Han Solo. Because then you have to bring back Jabba too. Because Jabba's like the godfather out there. You know what I mean? And the whole Hutt family. You know what I mean? They run things.
They run things.
They running things.
That's a fact.
So yeah, you know, so definitely got to get into that. That'll be dope, man. But May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you, man. That's definite, man. This is Scope This, man. It's your boy Big Assas here. I got my boy Rad, one in the building, man.
Uno,
I also got my excuse me, I got my special guest in the building. He'll be we'll be chopping it up with him in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Another artist, another dope local kid too, man. He's from out here. He's from out here in Jersey. And he ain't a kid, a grown ass man. But you know, that's how we talk from time to time. Yes, but again, if you ain't into Star Wars or you ain't into none of that, then, you know, what we was just finished talking about flew over your head. And
so we could talk about tomorrow. Tacos and Coronas. Taco salad, burritos and Coronas.
Man, tacos and Coronas.
Chalupas and all that.
It's funny though, because we talk about it, we make memes, we every time someone else's celebration come up, us as Americans, we celebrate too. And it's kind of cool like that. We like, you know what? Yeah, it's Mexican independence. You know what? Let's do it, baby. You know what I'm saying? St. Patty's Day. All right, you know what? Let's do it.
And if they not into it, we got Juan Solo too. So, you know what I mean? Juan Solo's in there.
Juan Solo.
And Chewy. Hey, there's a Chewy there too. You know what I mean? I'm
they
quite
got
sure.
Their own churros too, me.
For real. I love my
it's
Spanish
just funny
people.
though. I just love how sometimes we do it. If it involves alcohol, we like, yo, I guess I'm Mexican for the day. I'm Irish for the day. You know what I'm saying?
And if it involves tacos, I love tacos. Like tacos and Tuesdays.
Like tacos and Tuesdays.
And I love
man.
tacos.
That's hilarious, man.
For real.
But you see, that's what Scope this is about, y'all. It's about regular banter, regular talking. What you would hear in a barbershop or in a nail salon, if the ladies is tuning in, you know what I'm saying? You guys would be talking all, you know, little
Get your
bit
nails
of this,
did.
little that, you know, and a little bit of this,
Get
a
your
little bit of
hair
that.
and your nails did.
So, you know, I'm trying my best to stay off of Kanye West, guys.
Oh man,
it's a little crazy, and it's a lot of stuff going on, and he's trending on every other topic. So I'm trying not to give him any extra light. All I'm gonna say is it's time to move on. That's it.
For real. Judas should not get no more airplay.
It's time to move on. That's it. At the end of the day, because it's a lot of stuff that goes on, and you know, us as a country, we've been dealing with a lot of tension as of late, and we shouldn't. I personally feel like our stars shouldn't be fueling any of that fire.
I think honestly, like, you know, that whole racial tension stuff is created to keep us divided.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we all bleed red blood.
Yeah.
We all breathe the same air.
I say this a lot, but people look at me like I'm crazy.
Some of us are Star Wars fans, some of us are Marvel fans, some of us are DC fans, Star Trek fans. We all like the same thing. You know what I mean? Perfect example, you go to the Comic-Con.
You see every walk of life. That's why I love, you know.
Black, white,
you gotta love the city
Asian,
for that.
Purple, blue, green.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see all kinds of beings. You know what I mean? Like and everybody's together. It's one big happy family.
I always got this joke, right, that says that we're not gonna realize we're humans until the aliens come.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
That's
real.
Like, you know?
I mean, like if you want to take a page out of somebody's book and learn how to get along with people, I mean. Prime examples. Look at that movie Independence Day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For real. Like
look at
the end of the world. Yeah. It took the end of the world for people to come together and be like, yo, let's put our petty bullshit aside.
To the side.
And you know, now we facing a bigger threat. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it shouldn't take that bigger threat for us to realize the threat is already here because we got, you know, powers that be, the higher ups, is trying to keep us divided. Yeah. And that division is working, you know what I mean? And that's, you know.
It's working, man. I feel like there is somebody behind the scenes with the sinister grin going,
yeah. You got a pinky in the brain somewhere in there.
Yeah, there is definitely a pinky in the brain somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you trying to do tonight, baby? I'm trying to take over the world, baby.
Yeah, you know, and as long as they we feed and then we as you know as,
we do feed into it though.
We feed into that and we keep feeding the fires and you know that gives them the power and you know and we got to take that power back and the best way to take that power back is you know stop feeding into that BS, man.
Sometimes you gotta unite. Look, I say it a lot and people look at me weird and that's the whole thing. When it comes to this, you know, we all bleed, as he said, the same blood. We all breathe the same air. So to me, there's only one race, and that's the human race.
Yeah, exactly,
I know we all come in shades of colors, guys, and we got different
cultures,
backgrounds,
and it's beautiful.
different religious cultures, and different views. But at the end of the day, we still, like he said, we need this air to breathe. All of us do. None of us are exclusive to breathing different air.
Yeah,
none of us are exclusive to having, you know, our blood types are definitely different, but the hemoglobin and the stuff that's running through our veins is basically the same running through everyone's veins.
But check this out. I'm gonna give you one even further. Our blood types is different, but one of our blood types saves another man. Yeah. You know what I mean? It don't matter. You know what I mean? It might be different for me and you, but my blood type could save the next person.
Yeah, exactly.
Or probably the guys behind the cameras. You know what I'm saying?
People that's tuning in right now.
You know what I mean? And then just to let you know too, like, you know, my children are half Asian. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so what's that say? You know what I mean? Like, what does it matter? You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? Because to me, at the end of the day, like you said, it's still helping to divide, but there's still also, it was something that started years ago, still with the social system.
Yeah,
you know
ignorance
social
breeds stupidity, man.
Yeah,
and that's what it is.
That's a fact.
And as long as we keep putting labels as far as social class and financial class, is always going to have that division.
Should always have some sort of divide.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That is definitely a fact, man. So Kanye, chill. If you support Kanye West, don't come on my feed.
You need Kanye, you need a hug.
Listen, if we friends and you support him, I got love for you. But just don't come on my feed.
Yeah, we don't deal with Judas.
I'm petty enough to stop being your friend.
Yeah, and he does need a hug, man. He need a hug. I
am petty enough to stop being your friend. That's all I'm just saying, man.
Poor dude needs a hug. Yeah, he's just not from me. Right. You know what I mean? But he needs a hug.
He needs a hug.
He's lost.
All right,
he's a lost soul.
Now, perfect segue. Kanye's a little crazy. This world can have a lot of people out there that are a little crazy. And there are people that are out here that are really, you know what I'm saying, really intelligent. And they still fall along the lines of still believing that our Earth is flat.
Look, put it this way, man.
That's why I wanted to put it out there. The flat Earth theory. If you believe in it and you think this is it, you can let me know what your premises on it on the website.
Whether the world is round or flat, I don't care. For real. You know what I mean? So
listen, you know
what I mean? Like let me take my ass to Antarctica and let me see that big wall y'all talking about. If I can't see it myself, I don't believe it exists. You know what I mean? Like if I can't go to space myself to see it for myself, then fuck it. But at the same time, like, okay, let's see it like this, all right? We get a ball, right? A big ass ball about the size.
No, the ball is round.
Yeah, no, check it out. We get a ball, right? A humongous ass ball, like let's say the ball is about the size of the Empire State Building, a huge ball, the size of the Empire State Building, and you take a little tiny baby ant, and you put that ant on top of that, and you put a camera on the back of that ant, or you get Ant-Man, from the Marvel universe, and go hang out with the dude with a camera and shit, and you have him sit on top of that ball the size of the Empire State Building, and you tell me if he don't think it's flat. You know what I'm saying? Because like we're tiny. Compared to how big the Earth is. Like you can't sit here and say, oh, I don't see the curvature because I'm on top of the world. Dude, remember, you're like the size. You ever watch the cartoon Horton Hears a Who? Well, you're the Who inside that little fucking speck. You know what I mean? So like, come on,
look. I don't even take it as far as rocket science and all of that stuff that
don't
people
even
go.
take rocket science. That's common sense, man.
I don't even put it in there. Like I look at it as we're in a globe, just like a snow globe. There's flat surfaces in snow globes, but it's still in a globe. You understand?
Yeah, man.
And if you tell me that this Earth is flat, then what you're telling me is that you believe yourself that you're not 3D, so you're 2D. And that means you can't look at your back. That's what I'm saying. You draw a fucking, you draw a stick figure on a piece of paper and lay it flat. You can't see the back of that stick figure.
And let's say, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. And if the world is flat,
all right.
Let's say the world is flat, where the hell the water going to? Where we getting these waves? So if we getting waves, right? So that means there has to be some type of perpetual motion to keep the water moving back and forth.
Yeah.
So when they say that the sun, the flat Earth, right? Mm-hmm. So the sun and the moon is going around this way like that. So where
yeah, you see,
where you getting your time frame from?
Wouldn't it be sunny all the time too? If it's daytime here, it's daytime everywhere.
So where the hell where you getting your North Pole and your South Pole where it's cold, and then you get by the equator it's hot, and then it gets colder again when you get south.
Yeah.
There
is weather systems in the fall.
Come on, man.
No, but all right, look, all right. You got plenty of people that use the moon landing as the conspiracy.
Well, I believe that's a conspiracy.
I'm not saying
I believe the moon. You know what I mean? I definitely believe that the moon landing is a conspiracy.
I don't know about all of that. I'm not going to talk about that. But
because you know,
what you telling me then is that all the footage that we've gathered since then in space is bullshit too. Like all of it.
Yeah, you know.
And it's like some of it can't be. Yo, listen, man. 90 people tell a lie. 4 or 5 of them actually right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man.
You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as like the moon landing, I totally agree with that conspiracy.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
I'm not talking about that.
I'm like, okay. They say, oh, it makes
I'm not mad at you.
We don't have no reason to go back. Well, I think we do. We got a reason to go back. And go land on the moon. Like, why not build a base out there so that we can further go explore more?
Now that's
you know what I'm saying?
Come
on, if you ain't do it the first time, you can't do it the second time.
I think that's a different thing to the conspiracy, though.
Right.
I think they actually went there.
Nah, I don't think they did.
So. I mean, listen, I'm not saying the first guys.
And if they did,
I'm not saying the first guys.
And if they
but
did,
there's been a couple extra missions that went to the moon as well.
Okay, like the Apollo mission.
So one of them guys that went there.
Okay, well, if the Apollo mission, if they landed, you know what I mean? I'm quite sure they saw some aliens, and that's probably why they're scared.
That's another show.
I believe that too. I believe that too. I believe in aliens. I believe the motherfuckers exist. They're not little green men. They're not dudes with big ass heads with big bug eyes.
They might just
even
be,
though it might, yeah, they might be. But you know, also it brings into question too. Like, you ever saw the movie Paul?
Yeah.
Where Seth Rogen played the voice of the alien. We've been force-fed these images so much that who's to say that maybe when they do come to make themselves known, that we've seen it so much, we've been force-fed that image so much that we don't freak out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's conditioning. You know what I mean?
Maybe it is.
So I believe, you know, it could be.
Maybe it is.
You know?
I don't know. Me personally, it's just, there's a lot of stuff that can be broken down
but as
later
far
on
as
in
Earth
life.
is being flat or round, to be honest with you, I really don't care. And if it's flat, where the hell the water falls at? You know what I mean? I want to see that. I want to see Asgard.
No, I feel you. I'm not mad at that.
Because the Earth is flat, it's supposed to look like Asgard. So where the hell is the Bifrost? And where's my Bifrost?
I don't know, man. It's just me personally.
The eternal waterfall.
If you look up into the goddamn
you know what I mean?
sky and you look at this and the moon is round. If you look at any other star, any other planet, there is round. The sun is round. Right. So what you're telling me, if we're flat, we're still flat, but we still round, or are we flat and we're square?
Also,
so we only square out there.
Let's get a little bit deeper than that too. Like we getting all these crop circles, right? Yeah. Crop circles. I'm sorry, circles.
They're
round.
They're not called.
They're crop flats. You know what I'm saying? We getting crop circles. So and you know, according to these sciences, you know, and even ancient alien theorists, you know, all that stuff. You know, these crop circles deal in mathematics, true mathematics. Everything adds up to something. And mathematics is like the universal language.
Universal language.
So, I mean, you know what I mean? The circumference of a circle, I mean, you know, I rest my case, sir.
Like, there's
you know
just so much.
Flat Earth theory, you know what I mean?
I just can't believe,
y'all crazy.
You know,
y'all crazy. Y'all can hate me all day. Y'all Flat Earth people, y'all crazy.
I'm just saying, like, to me, at the end of the day, like, there's so much stuff out there. There's so much extra information out there for y'all to still be sounding like Galileo and shit. Like, these people were intelligent, but when their time,
look,
things were different.
All I know is that
science wasn't as much more in-depth and involved with all of that stuff.
All I know is that if there's a flat Earth, give me a goddamn sailboat. Let me get Jack Sparrow and Barbosa and all that, and we can go to the end of the, you know what I mean, at World's End and fall off the edge and go to Davy Jones' locker.
Davy Jones' locker.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, put the fuck out of here.
I get it, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's crazy.
It's just weird to me that, and you know, and I don't like bringing nobody down, but there's people out there that have money and are influence you, and they believe in this shit. So I don't know. It's just weird to me, and at the same time, I still have to question it though. Like,
I mean, if it
what made you believe in it?
Like, yeah, like you know what I mean. But see, they always come up with these arguments that can always be rebutted. You know what I mean?
Of course, that's why.
I mean, show me some. Oh, well, look at you. I sent up a weather balloon, and here's the camera, and there's no curvature. Dude, remember how small you are on the world of on the surface of planet Earth.
Did the weather balloon stay stuck though? Did it not go past?
Compared to
Earth, just bounce up there like a regular balloon, like the ceiling?
Compared to Earth, we are microorganisms living on the surface.
Of course.
And then, you know, microorganisms living on our surface. You know what I mean? And then there's microorganisms living on that surface. So, dude, like, come on, man.
I'm just saying,
you know,
man, like, there's a lot of extra stuff that,
if you really want to see a curvature, you take your ass out to space.
And I heard, and I know it's not right, and I know it's not true, but I saw this Facebook video. And the guy was up there talking about he see clouds moving past in front of the sun and behind the sun. And I'm like, what? Say, yo, bro, have you ever looked at a picture of the sun, like the real sun? There's no clouds around it, man.
Yeah, well, he see clouds moving behind the sun. Let me get some of that shit you smoking.
He's
share.
He definitely smoking that stuff that David's going to be at, because David's going to be hosting the 47th Cannabis Parade tomorrow. Where's it at? In NYC Studios? Oh, no. Mr. Milch. Mr. Milch is stuck. He will be there hosting it, though, tomorrow from 11 to 5. I won't be able to join you, sir, and I wish I could.
I wish I could. I got tattoo appointments tomorrow, so I can't.
I wish I could. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be in the building just because I don't want people.
We there.
I don't want people automatically assuming.
There ain't nothing to assume.
I might look like.
We there.
Know. But hey. Have fun. I'll be tuning in to see what you guys are talking about, though.
Some space cake, please. Some space cake.
I don't know. Listen. The earth isn't flat, guys. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care what degree you have.
Just take into consideration you are a microorganism on the face of the earth.
You're still trying.
So you won't be able to see that curvature.
So how will we be flat, though? Like, are we flat this way? Or are we flat this way?
Well, that's how they're saying. They're flat like this.
Flat and then
there's a dome. And then on that dome, it's supposed to be the earth and the moon going around like that. But, you know.
So there's no bottom? No, there's no bottom.
There's no bottom. The water falls down and then I don't know how it get recycled. You know what I mean? So, you know, we got like an endless water coming out of somewhere.
Yeah.
But according to them, that's how
it's
it
like
is.
This.
And then supposedly there's supposed to be like dimensions like let's say this is the Arctic wall that's surrounding all of it, right?
Yeah.
And so this Arctic wall, behind that is supposed to be another dimension of another. So how big is this flat Earth? You know what I mean?
It's gotta be huge.
It's a humongous tectonic plate.
It's gotta be huge.
Either way, where the hell the water's going and where the water coming from.
But even the tectonic plates, they shift and move now. So if they were, you know what, man?
don't bust your brain, sir.
No, man, I'm out as well. It's crazy.
Arguing with these dudes, you'll be arguing forever.
Because it's like, yo, I just feel like there's certain things.
I'm telling you, man.
That should be just common sense. And you hear it now, common sense isn't common. And
it's
it
a
sucks
superpower.
Because it's true.
I got a superpower because I have common sense. I'm a superhuman being because I have common sense.
I am a super saiyan because I have common sense.
It's for real, because common sense does not come a dime a dozen.
No, and it's not really.
Not anymore.
And it's just, I know it's just certain things should just speak volumes to you. And if you, and listen, hey, my name is Big Assas. Under my name it says host of the show. All right, it doesn't say physicist, PhD, astronomer. It doesn't say none of that. So if you, nice, that's what I'm talking about. See, they even listen. So basically, I don't have a PhD in this stuff. So if you feel like I'm up here just talking out the side of my mouth and I ain't making no sense, then do your own research.
That's what, you know, at the end of the day, exactly that. You know,
because like I said,
go look for yourself.
Yeah, please do your own research.
Even all these flat earthers all say, "Oh yeah, I'll stand by it till my face is blue." Go look for yourself. Yeah, don't listen to them and they take their word for the gospel. You go see for yourself and you do your own research. Just like I did my research when it came to religions and all that, and that's why I don't follow no religion, because religion was created by man to control man. So, you know what I mean? I live on a higher plane and spiritual plane.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Do your research. That's all I ask.
Do your research. Do your due diligence.
Don't, you know, we're also part of this big social media thing that,
and also, you know,
brings people into believing in stuff just because it was put up on the social wall.
Yeah, well, see, I was going to get to that too. In this day and age right now, everybody go on Google and they take it as gospel. Well, I researched it. I went on Google. You know, back in my time, I hate to sound like I'm old like that, but I'm old. So, but back in my time,
I hate to sound old, but I'm
my
fucking
Google
old.
was the encyclopedia. You went to the library, you did research, and you read. You know what I mean? You picked up documents and you read these documents.
Google.
You know what I mean?
Google's pretty accurate.
Yeah, but somewhat.
Still,
but then again, it also leaves everything up for interpretation. You know, people could put up whatever they want on the internet. You know what I mean? Just like, but do your due diligence and research, man. You know what I mean? Not everything you see online is real.
Yeah.
That's just to let you know. Read a book called 1985. That's something to start with. You know what I mean? Educate yourself, please, because I'm tired of hearing these people online. You know what I mean? They think that everything that's online is gospel.
Yeah, and it
you know,
can't be.
Y'all killing me here, man. Everything that I'm starting to see is reminding me of this movie called Idiocracy.
Yes, I remember that
You know what I
film.
mean? The dumbing down of the future. Y'all gonna be calling yourselves Alonzo Mountain Dew Chavez and shit like that, or your name is gonna be Frito Lay and shit like that, and you're gonna go to Fuddruckers for that's gonna be
Wendy's,
like a
KFC-ish.
Yeah, you're gonna go to Fuddruckers and it's gonna be like a Chuck E. Cheese, and then you're gonna go to Starbucks for a latte, and a latte means a hand job and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Do your due diligence, man. It's happening now. That's what I'm saying. So read a book called 1985 and watch the movie Idiocracy.
They doing it now.
And then look at yourselves in the mirror.
They doing it now. I work in a coffee shop. Little tidbit. All right. And Starbucks kind of killing us with the macchiato thing, because it's two different things.
For
Starbucks
real.
macchiato is
It's
really
like
a
this
goddamn
big.
latte, right? And a macchiato is
It's
really
supposed
this
to be
small,
like that shot glass.
like a real small thing.
Yeah, man.
So it's happening now, because they come in every day and be like, oh, let me get an iced macchiato, and then we give them the little ass cup, and they're like, oh, I thought it was more, and it's like,
No,
oh,
go to
we've been to
Starbucks.
That's just a little tidbit. It's just funny. So I don't know, like flat Earth theory. It doesn't have too much of a theory. I think you need a little more extra stuff for the theory.
I think you need to be on some like potent drugs to talk about
I'm just
some
saying,
flat
I'm just saying, like,
theories.
at the end of the day, like, you know, it's just so much extra stuff out there. So if we flat, everything else is flat.
You know what I mean?
know what I'm
And then,
saying?
you know, then also like.
So nothing else rotates out there. There's nothing orbiting anything out there. It's orbiting this way.
You know, because they, you know, also flat Earth theory, the theorists, they talk about, well, if the Earth is spinning, why nothing is falling off of the Earth? Because, you know, but at the same time, if you've been to an amusement park and you get in this ride called the hellhole, or whatever they want to call it, it spins around and you stay flat against the wall,
move, right?
And the floor drops. So
and the Earth is
gravity,
spinning like,
you know what I mean? Like,
what, like a degree per, like, you know, it takes for it to make one turn, it's a year.
Around the sun.
Right? Around the sun.
Around
All
the
right, so
sun.
it rotates 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day, but
Right?
it takes a year to
But
go
it
around
takes
the
that
sun.
24 hours to make that one spin. It's not that's not a fast spinning cycle, guys. I'm just saying.
Actually, it takes 2 years to go around the sun. If you think about it, right? When it gets the closest to Earth, that's summer.
Yeah.
Then when it gets away from when it gets away from Earth,
It's
the
supposed to be
sun.
winter.
You know what I mean? That's winter. Then when it comes back around again on
It
the
gets
other
a
side,
little warm.
it get that summer again, and then winter, and then the summer again. So that you know, so you have you have 2 years going around the entire sun. You know what I mean? Supposedly. You know,
Allegedly.
but you know, flat Earth. You know, is only when they heat up the dome. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's some
like, yeah,
greenhouse
you live in a
effects.
greenhouse.
Yeah. And then if that's the case, why we having so much major deforestation and we're not having all this abundance on O2 and why we having so much problem with
CO2
oxygen
emissions
and all this? You know what I mean? Like,
all right. And if it was just a dome.
if we living in a dome, we should have a greenhouse effect.
Exactly. And if it was just a dome, like really a dome, then what the hell is the whole effect of the ozone even we having this discussion of?
Like, you know what I
that
mean?
glass should not be able to be broken. And then at the same time, guys, who the hell is creating unbreakable glass to put over an entire planet?
Well, son, I'm telling you, God is the man. So
Poof. Just a poof.
God is the man. He, you know what I mean?
I'm just saying, guys, I know, listen, I'm not knocking nobody out there. Look, Rad, hold on. Look, hey, Rad, if you're a superhero, what power would you have? Look at that.
Common sense. I have it now. I'm telling you.
Nah, I ain't gonna
No, but we're going to talk about
real talk.
what powers out. My favorite superhero is Spider-Man. So I would be Spider-Man with only one thing from Superman. That's just to fly.
He wants to be able to move quickly and move through the shadows.
You know
But then
what I
go,
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'll fly like Superman, but I have Spider-Man powers.
Now, I'm sorry, man. If I had a power, I would be invisible. I think being able to be...
See, being invisible is too... I would be a super villain. If I had to be a
that's what I'm saying.
I think it'd be too easy for me to be a super villain.
I hear you. That's
I'll
why
be
you
robbing
have
banks.
to be... No, you see, but that's why you have to use it for good. Because you can be that guy.
I will bastardize that superpower so bad.
Man, I'll be like, yo,
I can't do it, son.
Look, man, I go to different, wherever the drama's at. Where the problem at? OK's over here, I'll handle it. Like, that's what I'll be doing. Like, I wouldn't do... of course, robbing a bank and all that stuff. But you can rob a bank if you're a Spider-Man, bro.
But see, nah, that's different.
You can grab up all the cameras. Who gonna see this?
Yeah, true. But nah.
And you can fly.
If I'm invisible, you know how much dirt I'll be doing.
But I just feel like I feel like if you have a superpower, you can just do dirt regardless.
I'll be sitting in the White House listening to all the dirty secrets. I'll be like, yeah.
If you had a superpower, though, you would do that. Though, if you had a superpower. You could be able to use it for all of them.
If I was like, if I was like Superman, superpowers like Superman. Unfortunately, they talked about it in Superman, like he can control the world. He don't answer to nobody. On some real shit, I would sort of do that. I'll go to these governments because half of these governments is crooked anyway, and then, you know what I mean. And I'll be like, look, I'm running shit now. Y'all gonna do right, you know what I mean? Y'all gonna do right by everybody.
I feel you, but then you end up having that same thing of all this crazy stuff.
But I mean, I let them do what they gotta do. You know what I mean? Let them govern themselves. But the government ain't gonna be doing that crooked shit fucking people over.
I
you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Y'all ain't gonna be having wars on the expense of your pockets. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? On the back, on our backs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For your pockets. You know what I mean? Like, nah, that ain't gonna be. War won't even exist.
You might be starting some stuff, man.
Who knows, man? War won't even exist if I was Superman. You know what I mean? There wouldn't be no war. There wouldn't be no global war, no global tension, none of that shit.
You know what I mean? I do have a guest in the building. I'm going to bring him out in a few minutes. I'm going to actually bring him out in a few. So we can chop it up with him, talk to him. We'll get some of his thoughts on what we've been talking about. Obviously, we've been talking about the Flat Earth Theory. We spoke a little bit about Star Wars. We spoke about, comics and superpowers. So we'll chop it up with him in a sec, you know what I'm saying? He's a dope artist out here from New Jersey and stuff. So whenever A Sharp is ready, get ready to line up, come out here, and we're going to talk to him for a little bit. It's just, as far as it comes to us and what we doing, yes.
Hey, Sharp,
the brother is in the building.
That's good,
man. How you doing?
Salute,
all right?
brother. How you been, man? Good to see you. Good to see you.
Let's switch.
Switch?
Yeah.
All right, and I got a pointer. Somebody told me that when I do interviews with people, I should look at them in the eye, because it helps me engage. I don't know what that's about, guys. I don't know what it's about. I'm new to TV, so it's basically we're doing this on the fly.
See, I was taught in the TV world because I had my experience at MTV, Club MTV, MTV Jams, and all that stuff. I was extras in like several movies, music videos. Anyway, you know what I mean. But I was taught not to look in the camera.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was told that too.
Then when you're talking to somebody, you engage in.
It's a different.
You're not looking the person in their face either. But you're you gotta find your point. But it's supposed to look like you're looking at each other. You know what I mean? So you're really not making eye contact either, because you leave yourself for mistakes and stumbling on your words and laughing. So you know what I mean?
Getting caught in someone's gate.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you know what I mean? So I was told not to do that either. You know what I'm saying? So. Who knows, yeah?
All right, so
this is different. This is the interview world.
A-Sharp. Yeah, we got the brother A-Sharp in the building. A-Sharp, let the people know exactly what you do, and I know there's many hats you wear. So
okay.
Yeah. You got a green one right now.
I got
so that's one of the
out. I'm a New Jersey Devils fan. But, A-Sharp, I'm a producer, DJ from New Jersey, live in Newark, you know what I mean? Represent Newark.
Brick City.
Brick City. Just put a new project out. I got the Earl Smash 2. That's out right now.
Hey, look. I love it. The first single was Earl Smashington.
Yeah, that was the first album.
Where did that come from? Like, just the thought process, you put it together. What made you decide to go with that title?
Just being in the studio one day, I was just making beats. You know what I mean? You know when you in the studio. You know what I mean? And I was just making something. I was like, man, I'm smashing this shit right now. And I'm just like,
smashing.
I'm Earl girl's smashing this shit right now. It just had a ring to it, you know what I mean? So I just went with it, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
dope.
It's like a little alter ego that I came up with, you know what I mean? Production.
Wow, that's
Cool.
That's
his superpower right there.
That's his superpower. You know, so we've been chopping it up. We've been talking about a lot of different things, and I want to get your take on certain things real quick before we get a little bit more in depth of you know what you do as an artist and the whole artistry producing and all. Because it's so much stuff. So, lemons or limes, bro?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say lemons.
You're gonna have to say lemons.
Yeah.
So he sided with my boy Rad. He sided with Rad.
I'm on both sides.
I like
lemons and limes
though. Rad likes them both. A-Sharp like lemons.
I mean, I like limes too, but like, there's nothing. You know, sometimes I'll just eat like a lemon.
You'll just eat. Sometimes you
just eat a lemon.
Just eat a lemon.
There's something about it. It's just refreshing.
They trolled me last week on the first show, and that's what that was the first question. I was like, "What you guys want me to talk about?" And they said lemons and limes. So I said, "You know what? We're gonna have fun with it." You know what I'm saying? So my man A-Sharp, he likes the lemons.
I'm a lemon guy.
So he's a lemon meringue kind of guy.
Word.
Yes, sir.
Rad is a lemon meringue / key lime pie.
Yes, sir.
And I'm Mr. Key lime pie. If you can't see already, I'm Mr. Key lime pie. All right. So we also spoke about the flat Earth theory.
Oh.
All right. Now. Are you one of those, bro?
This is my thing. Like, I've like seen all like the YouTube things on it. You know what I mean? I gave it a chance.
You've done some research.
Yes, I've done some research. I gave it a chance. You know what I mean? To hear all the you know what I mean, the theories and everything out. It's just, to me, I don't know if I can believe all of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because what proof do you have? You know what I mean? Like
some of it is compelling.
It's compelling.
But it's a little bit. Some of it is a little bit too far-fetched.
It'll open your eyes a little bit. You know what I mean? But do I think it's flat? No.
All right.
But could it be?
Possibly.
Who knows? Possible, right?
Great conspiracy. Who knows, right?
You know what I mean? Just like, you know, when they said all the people went to Antarctica and discovered this wall or whatever it was. You know what I mean? So, you know.
So no one's
seen it again. You know what I mean?
But no one ever seen it afterwards.
Exactly.
The wall doesn't appear again.
That's when global warming melted it. You know what I mean? Now all of a sudden the water is just everywhere. You know, they're gonna talk about something. They're gonna come up with an excuse. It was global warming. Now there ain't a wall.
Yeah.
But you know,
but who discovered the wall years ago to even put it there?
It was some archaeologist, some dude
he was
that
he was like in the Navy or something like that, and they said he discovered like a lot of things.
Yeah. So he had a credible.
They gave the mission.
List.
They gave him
he had
the mission.
A credible list.
So they were like, all right, we're gonna give you all this manpower, all these boats. Go check it out.
Yeah, let's see
you know
what
I'm saying? And supposedly, you know, he was just like, nothing here.
Yeah.
But you know, we're just gonna have all these signs that say you can't come back here.
Yeah.
So, you know,
well, you can also add. Well, that can also add to the conspiracy as well, right? Because there could be nothing there.
Right.
But if there's a bunch of signs, they'd be like, "Keep out."
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
I think it's more that they found some aliens or something.
You know
what I mean? More than Earth being flat. You know what I'm saying?
Like an Area 59.
Yeah, that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Me personally, look, I don't know. I just say that at the end of the day is like I use as much common sense as possible, and I just, you know, when you tell me flat, I think of squares and rectangles and shit like that.
Rubik's Cube.
If you tell me flat, when you say flat, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. This fucking phone. When I put it on the table, it's flat. You know what I'm saying?
I think of Pirates of the Caribbean, Asgard. You know what I mean? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so, all right. If you had a superpower, that was one of the questions they asked us on here. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, man.
I said invisibility.
Invisibility is a good one.
He wants to be Spider-Man with a little bit of Superman so he can fly.
But Spider-Man's cool with a little bit of Superman. I can dig that. So, I guess I'd want to be able to, like, teleport.
That'd be kind of cool, like Nightcrawler.
Yeah. Like that's Nightcrawler can. You know what I mean? My favorite Marvel character is Wolverine. So, you know what I mean? But, you know, he's cool.
My favorite character is the Hulk. So
my favorite character is Spider-Man.
And I don't. Yeah, you see, you like Spider-Man, but don't get me wrong. I already get mad, and when I see red, I feel like I'm the Hulk. So I don't want to use them. Be like, hey, I don't get Hulk. You know what I'm saying? I get that already.
That's what I'm saying. You be Wolverine and just hack people up. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. gravitate a little bit towards Wolverine because he's a badass. He don't take no
shit. And
at the same time, he can take that body damage and come back.
Exactly. No, he's a cool
he got that regeneration.
All right, now, quick question though. If you had a superpower, it could be used for evil just as good as it could be used for good, right?
Sure.
So he said he couldn't be invisible because the first thing he'll do is do something bad.
I do a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah,
But that's what I told him. I
I
said,
mean,
if you can web stuff and fly too, you'll be able to be a villain as well.
It makes it convenient to do evil, you know?
That's why.
To be invisible makes it mad convenient.
I guess it's just, the responsibility of having it. But, I'd probably do some bad shit too.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'd be a neutral
most people will be like,
person. You know what I mean?
Yo, look, man, I'm gonna be good tomorrow, but I'm gonna rob this bank today because I need some money.
For real. You gotta fund your superpower. You gotta fund your
with this power as a broke person.
You gotta find your medium with it. You know what I mean? I did so much bad, so I gotta do this much good to make up for that. You know what I mean?
You gotta find that equilibrium.
Exactly.
I'm not Bruce Wayne, guys. I'm sorry.
I need a super cave. I need a hideout or something. For real.
All right, so brother, you here? You're an artist. You're a producer.
Yes.
You also do showcases.
Yes.
We drove by the Blue Room, so I was like, listen, we just
the Blue Room, yes, is being it's under construction right now.
Construction, renovated.
Yes, so waiting on that. I just talked to Tim the other day.
Yeah, I know
he's out there grinding. You know
I'm
what I mean?
gonna hit him up
grinding.
and see if I can bring him up as well. I think it'd be kind of cool to sit there and chop it up with him.
Appreciate that.
Because he has a lot of
he's got a lot of things going on. Yeah.
Plus he has the aspect of the rock plus all the hip hop that he's been a part of.
Right. He lives in both worlds.
You said the rock.
Not the eyebrow rock, but rock music and the stuff because he was part of a group back in the days.
Yes, yeah.
And I know that he's been doing tons of stuff. He got some new stuff that he's doing now as well.
Yeah, he owns a label, everything. So a lot of things are working.
Man. So when I saw the Blue, I said, "Oh man, it's perfect, man. We're gonna have a show."
Yeah. I drove by there too when I was coming here. I was just like, "Oh man, the memories." A lot of shows there, man. A lot of A-list showcases. You know, if you were around for the times, the A-list showcases.
Yeah, the A-list showcase was dope. That's
I
how I
did that
actually
for
met
about
him.
3 years.
A friend of mine's actually gave me his information on Facebook.
Yeah, that's how I connected with you. Yeah.
I linked up with him. I was like, "Yo, let's work. Let's do this show."
Yep.
And it was a totally dope event, man.
Yep.
So it's a good atmosphere.
Yeah, no, it's a dope vibe in there. You know what I mean? I just waiting to get back in there.
So
you want to go there and make it rain?
Yeah. Y'all heard the chicken tenders are good too, though.
Yeah, no, they do have good food there.
Hey,
They
got some really good chicken tenders.
I'm just saying.
They really tender, boy.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying though, boy.
So you are a grown up like we are. So when did you fall in love with music? When was it when you was like, yo?
Well,
is
my house was so musical because my father is a musician.
Awesome.
My father was in a band when he lived in Italy.
Awesome.
So,
What kind of music background?
like I would say like funk, like James Brown kind of music, just with like an Italian kind of.
Casey, Sunshine Band.
A lot
type
of Italians
thing.
wanted to be like black in like the 70s, so like a lot of their music like.
So you know what they say about the Sicilians though. So you know what I mean?
Hey, blacks and Italians are very much alike.
That's right.
But so like my house was real musical. My father played guitar.
All right, cool.
And he got me into drums. So just like rhythms were always around. You know what I mean?
So
Just
you
always
good with the drums?
Yeah, I can play drums a little bit.
That's
you know what I mean?
dope, that's
I could keep a beat. But yeah, man, just from that, records around the house. You know how it is, man.
Right.
Just hip hop. You start getting into it.
Yeah,
that's
like
it.
that.
Yeah. See, I was officially 12.
Yeah.
And I was seeing what was going on. I was actually hanging out with him. I had a show in Brooklyn last weekend, and he came through, and I saw my boy's older brother.
Okay.
Who I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And he was one of them. He's one of them, and him. I give them props all the time.
Right.
He was the first person that took me in the studio.
Okay.
Period. So,
Yes.
love Rap forever. My other man, Deuce, I remember me and his younger brother watching him do it.
Baines.
And, my boy Baines and his older brother Deuce. And I fell in love with it, but at first I was like, I don't know if this, I was still young. I don't know if this really is. So, but it was always like that. I was born in Brooklyn. I got my family's background was very, I'm Puerto Rican, so the music, I was raised on more Spanish music, and I listened to what my older sister, because I'm the middle child of 3, I was listening to what she was listening to. So I have a lot of like house and techno background and stuff that I knew.
Yeah. Older sisters, man, they help you out, man.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain different sounds.
Yeah, definitely.
So I always, credit them to that. But it was around that time when I was like, yeah. But I wasn't around the instruments or anything like that. It was just something that I was like, yo, this is really cool.
Yeah.
See, like for me, it was like growing up. Oh, I grew up in the '80s, so I'm an '80s baby. I was born in the late '70s. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I grew up listening to my sister and her boyfriend, my brother-in-law now, James and Maritza, rocking the Rick James and all that. So I grew up. I grew up with a lot of that.
The funk,
the funk era, you know what I mean?
Style.
You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely.
Heavy bass line.
So I grew up with that. Exactly. Shalimar, Michael Jackson. I grew up with the Rick James and Peaches and Herb and all. You know what I mean? So I grew up with all that funk stuff, but it didn't really hit me as like I wanted to be into the music like that. It was more like I wanted to be a singer and dance, you know what I mean? So I was into the dancing and all that. And then as I got older, I became more, into like the house music and all that. And then during that time with the house music is when I started dabbling with the hip hop, rapping and shit like that. But I never really took rap too serious. I was more into like wanting to play instruments. I knew how to play clarinet, saxophone. You know what I mean? I was trying to teach myself how to play piano. I wish I took the piano lessons.
Piano,
when you were a kid, I've totally ruined this.
Listen to mom and dad when they want to take you in and take those piano lessons.
Take them.
Take them. You know what I made the mistake of not doing it.
Yeah,
and to this day, I still regret it. Because when you're young, you're like, I want to play piano, mom. I get it.
I was like that.
Say you know the piano, you can play any instrument.
Yeah,
pretty much. That's what they say. So,
and I wish I did that, but and then as I got older, like in my early teens, I was in graphics. So I grew up. I went to school at graphic communications, Decepticon era. You know what I mean? So
it's totally different era. Y'all don't know about that.
Y'all don't know about that. Real gang shit.
Back in the day, gang.
So I grew up in that. So I was around that. So in the lunchroom, they used to always be boxing and shit. So beatboxing and doing the beats on the tables and all that. And that's where was the birth of Helter Skelter. You know what I mean? Smith and Wesson, all my homies from D-Set days, Onyx, you know what I mean? So you know what I mean? So that's where they came from. We all went to school together. But before that, we had Craig G in my school. So that's when, you know what I mean, I was growing up during the Big Daddy Kane era and all that. So that's when I was like, yeah, I want to rap. You know what I mean? So I started dabbling with the music and all that.
That's dope.
And then
hey, listen,
that was such
Big
an
Daddy Kane,
era,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I grew up in that rich era. And then the background that I had, the school I went to, I was, you know what I mean, Maxwell, Helter Skelter, Smith and Wesson, Craig G. We all went to school together. You know what I mean? So I was surrounded with all these people, and these are people I know by first name basis. You know what I mean? Like when we went to school, and we did dirt together and stuff like that, and so stuff like that. So I was always surrounded by that, and then during that time, that's when I started dancing. For MTV, and Club MTV The Grind, and all that stuff. So you know what I mean? Like I was really into that, and then I started taking it a bit further and started rapping and all that, and that's when the Assas came to me, little skinny dude,
back in the day,
and at that time I did a couple of shows. I opened up for Method Man when he first came out, when he was doing the METHO before Wu-Tang really blew, and I opened up for him at a club called Mars, and I remember I was promoting my show and shit. And that's when he came out. Yo, I could rap.
He saw my older cousin, and he gave him a flyer. Older cousin peeped that he told me about it. And then one day they were like, "See, there's a school. All right,
we used to have.
We from Brooklyn, man. So in Brooklyn, there's schoolyards. There used to be schoolyards. They all motherfucking new houses now.
Now they used
to be schoolyards and shit. And one day, man, I'm walking by the schoolyard. And it's like 20 MCs just ciphering. And I was like, oh, I gotta see what this is about. Went up in there and see what they was doing, and I already knew that I was already doing a little something.
Right.
So I went home, grabbed my book, So let me see what's good. Jump into the arena with these cats who's been doing it. And long story short, my fat ass is here. So you know what I'm saying?
Man. And that's when ciphers was really ciphers. You know what I mean? That's when
real,
you know it was real MCs spitting. I mean, I ain't gonna take away from some of y'all new dudes, but y'all new dudes need to learn the art because it's a lot of pico. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fuck that. There's a big difference because when we used to freestyle and spit. And even when we had our ciphers, we didn't cipher like, yo,
yeah, we said words.
And I said, nah, we had rhythm. We had rhythm. You know what I mean? We went to there wasn't no beat playing. We spit with a flow. You know what I mean? And some substance. You know what I mean? There was always that You know what I mean? So there was always a delivery and a deliverance and some umph to it. Yeah. You know, these days now, you know, cats when they so-called freestyle, you pause it for a minute. So you thinking about what you spitting. You ain't freestyling, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Everything is
That's
different.
premeditated.
Everything is different.
You know what I'm saying?
Now.
When we freestyle, it was freestyle on the fly. Like you know, you had to come up with that. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. That's what the real ciphers was out. Yeah. Shout out to real MCs. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
For
so
real.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
When did you start? All right, you produce.
Yeah.
I like to ask this a lot, and you rhyme. So
which came first?
I don't rhyme.
I mean, which came first to put you into like production and all that, DJing and like
DJing came first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just DJing parties. You know what I mean? Hip hop records, stuff like that. And then you get the natural.
I gotta ask. I don't mean to cut you off. You know how to scratch and all that.
Yeah. I know how to cut. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking
Juggle,
about.
transform, stuff like that.
Yes.
Real DJing. You know what I mean? The real art of it. But first started with DJing. You know what I mean? Getting records, and you're like, yo, now you hear enough beats with all these records. You're like, I want to do this. You know what I mean? I want to produce now.
What was your first sampler?
My first sampler was a Boss Dr. 808.
Mine was the DR202 and the SB1200.
Yes. And then I got the Akai MPC 2000, and that was it. I still use that.
Yeah.
So, you know
that's what I was saying. Because I
still use the classics
too,
man.
The new shit is the machine now. That's the
machine is dope.
Which is dope.
Machine is dope.
But 15-year-old machine, 15-year-old box still works, man. That
still
do good. Like,
I still.
MPC 2000 still works.
You can't get the sound out of the new equipment that you can with the old equipment.
That's
you know
true
what I mean?
Indeed.
It's just how they made it. That warm, thick. It fills the speakers.
I still got an S950 in my house.
Yeah, S950s too, man.
Yeah.
Like there was sounds. It was certain things, and that's why I used to try to tell. People that when I started getting into producing, because I produce as well, but I'm not big on I'm not a producer. I'm a beat maker. We know the difference.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between a producer and a beat maker. We talked about that last week. Don't ask me right now. Tune into last week's show.
I'm both.
Exactly. You're not both. You're a producer. You understand? Because when you can make more music for more different genres, that's when production. That's when I consider you
a producer.
You know, I can make just some really good boom bap shit. So I'm a beat maker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
When you first you got Earl Smashington 2 now.
Yeah.
When did you officially release that, or is it already out?
Yeah, it's out. It's out.
When you started putting it together, how many MCs did you want to touch base with it? Because the first one must have had some sort of success for you to be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me put out the second
Absolutely. To follow up. It's got so many. It's a producer album.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. It's got a whole spew of MCs on it that I respect and I work with. Mm-hmm. So, just putting that together, it was something I didn't want to do, like no internet stuff. Like I'm gonna send you the beat.
Yeah.
I wanted to get everyone together in the studio. So I was like, yo, everyone come to the Sharp Tank on this day, and we're gonna make the song.
Salute to the Sharp Tank. Yeah. Hey, y'all already know.
That's what's up. You kind of like read my mind because I was gonna ask you a question along that lines.
And then and everything, like down to the beat, like I made it all in that session. Like chopping the samples in that session. Like I was like, yo, this is how I want to do it. I want to do everything raw.
That's kind of dope,
from the start to the end of the song. So, and that's it. Once I started the sample, like they hear it sliding right, then they start writing. And then, you know, I'm like, yo, let me hear what you're doing. And then they start spinning it back. I'm like, okay.
That's true traditional hip hop.
So that's producing.
Yes.
That's,
you know what I mean? That's
man.
not just beat making, like, yeah, I'm going to email you a beat.
Yeah. Say you
know
take
what
it,
I mean?
do whatever you do, send it back,
That's
let me know.
producing, like, really being like, yo, you're gonna do this and just orchestrating it. You know what I mean? That's what I really wanted to do with this.
That's
you
your
know what I mean?
formula
No
right
internet
there.
stuff. I really wanted to be raw with it. So
That's dope.
That's what's up. Yeah,
You know?
hell yeah,
That's
man.
dope. Now, because you know, in the aspect of production, you have so many different elements, and like you
Yes.
said, it's better when you are a little more trained on instruments when you do them.
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's something in there. See, because that was the thing that it took me a little while to get. Like, I didn't know about the ghost drums.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
and you don't know
yeah.
about that stuff
Yeah.
when you first learn to make beats unless you know how to really drum.
when
Because those are
it
notes
dawns
that
on you, though, it dawns on you. You're like,
Yeah,
wow.
you're
You're like, oh my
yo.
God, this is the, you know what I mean? This is like the hidden.
I'm like, oh my
the
God,
hidden,
this is what, and you don't even realize that is gonna make it so
Yeah,
much
yeah,
more
so
better,
much better,
and it's
yeah.
gonna make it sound much more professional.
Yeah, just bigger.
It gets
you know
the
what I mean?
layers.
Yeah, yes.
See, and I didn't know about none of that, bro,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
didn't learn
But that's
drumming
just
early, man.
learning. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the beauty of it too when you're producing. Because, look, man, you have a drum machine or you got a computer. You don't really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's just experimenting. Oh,
Yeah.
let me try this. You know
Oh,
what I
this-
mean? Let me try
this
this.
knob does this,
Well,
yeah.
I got a tip from another producer that
Yeah.
he
Right.
told me to do this. Like, you just grabbing
That's
everything
how I learned.
Yeah.
to make you know, to make what you do your sound.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, it's trial and error, man. That's all
Yeah,
production
no,
is.
that's what it
but
is,
when
though.
but when you start getting it, you know what I mean? You just can't help
Now,
but be like,
let me
yeah,
ask
yeah,
you,
yeah,
your
okay.
first sequencing program, and we talking about like real programs, you know,
Yeah,
before
yeah.
everybody got into Pro Tools and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
What was your first sequencing program that you used?
Oh,
I
man.
used what was it, Logic, right? Logic.
It was Cubase, no?
Cubase,
Log-
yeah, I used
yeah.
Cubase, and then I went to Logic, VS.
I was using Logic 6 when I was
Okay.
going to audio school in New York. I think like Logic just came out. So like they introduced it to us and I was like, all right, this is cool.
All right, Logic 6 is what we used when we recorded our first album that got us the deal with 619 Records
Okay.
once again,
California.
California.
Everything through Logic 6.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Dope. That was back in 2000.
Yeah.
2003.
Years
2000,
ago?
no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Earlier than that.
2000, 2000.
And then what was it?
2000.
Then Pro Tools came out.
Right,
Like,
yep.
What, like 2002?
Yeah, around
Something
there,
like
yep.
that. DigiDesign came up
I
with
remember when Pro Tools, they were giving it out for free, a free program.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When there were people like, oh, what the hell is this?
what
and it was
is
like,
this?
oh, let's
Yeah.
just work out, whatever, it's free. Download it, package it. Didn't even know how big it was going to end up becoming, right?
And
You
now
know what I'm
look,
saying?
it's like the medium for everything.
It's,
It's not Pro Tools,
the
you know.
go-to program.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's cool because of the fact that it was one of the first programs that it would be easy to dump.
You
Right,
dump stuff.
right,
Like,
right,
jump
right.
from here to
You
that
ever
studio
use
to the next studio.
well, what's that other program that a lot of people use?
Fruity Loops?
Yeah, Fruity Loops.
Was never big on it, man. I respect it, and you
It's
know.
funny how you already knew I was, so you gave me that
Yeah,
face like Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops.
I've
That
heard a
Fruity
lot
Loops.
of producers make really good beats on them, and
I
I've heard
can't
a lot
stand
of
Fruity Loops.
crappy beats on them. But you know, shouts to Ninth Wonder. He figured it out to get those drums to slide the right way. I just could never figure that program
Yeah,
out
me
like
neither,
that.
You know what
man.
though? You know what though? To me too is that what he didn't speak about was that sampling. I don't think the drums went. I just think he put the sounds of the drums into the program and worked them.
Yeah, just
because
make
that's
a
what it is.
pattern
Like,
and just dump soul samples,
Yeah, and that's
yeah.
what I'm thinking because a lot of people. Like that was my thing on Fruity Loops when I first started working on
Yeah.
it. It was like I'm like, yo, like some of the sounds on here are cool,
Yeah.
but they're really generic.
Right,
and I
right,
never
right.
figured out that you can like load those samples. When I seen that, I was like, oh well, I think a lot of people start loading up them drum sounds
Yeah,
in there,
yeah,
and
yeah,
now
yeah.
they sounds crazy
Well,
because
it's all
like.
about like your drums. Like, you know, as a producer, you should have like your go-to drums. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like your set drums, and then, you know what I mean, making drums too.
Mine's
you know
is
what I mean?
808s.
I
Yeah.
look, I like Just Blaze,
Oh,
but I think as of at least the last 3 to 4 years, I think he's going way too over the top with the drums. Like
think
to
so?
me, to the point where he had a song. He got a song recently with Beyonce. I think it's called Freedom or something like
Okay.
that. And to the point that I didn't even hear who produced it. I just heard the beat, and I said, "Yo, that's fucking."
That's Just Blaze.
Just Blaze. And then later, and just fucking around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I go, and it's fucking Just
Blaze.
Blaze.
See, me,
you understand?
I
To me,
favor-
his
I favor-
sounds are just like.
I favor Primo.
I like
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't
Primo.
fix it.
When it comes
I'm
to
not
like
mad.
traditional, like real raw hip hop, like the true essence of hip hop, I fucks with a Primo beat all day.
Primo.
Yeah.
But you know,
And
when you wanna like spread your wings in different type of experiment
even
with
just
hip hop,
Blaze,
then
he's
I do
still-
with other people. But
He's still
like
exclusive more now to people that really know about
Yeah,
him.
that new
He's not
Prime
everywhere.
album was serious. You guys hear it?
Yeah.
Serious. You know?
It's just crazy because, like I said, it's still, look, there's still market for the stuff that we do.
Yes.
And there's, because that's what the guy that I had up here last week talking about, he was talking about there's still a market for everyone to eat.
Yeah.
But I still feel that there is a market, but you have to go take that market.
You have to
go
really
get
tap
that
it
market.
and tap into it and find it.
And a lot of those cats ain't letting anyone in no
No,
more.
no,
They
no.
trying to keep that circle tight because that money is not that big as
I
it
mean,
was.
you got guys that just recently, like, West Side Gun, Conway.
Yes,
you know
yes,
what I mean?
yes,
They're doing their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they might be like the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
But I think things are getting better.
Yeah.
hopefully.
Things are getting better.
So now, with your next joint, Smashington 2, like, is it already completed?
Yeah, it's done. It's out.
done?
It's on
done.
Bandcamp, yeah.
So what you gonna do now to follow that up? Like, what you thinking about?
I'm working with an artist called West Now right now on like a 4.
Dope dude. I met him before the show. Real dope.
Okay, yeah,
humble,
good dude.
And very different, which is
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
because
yeah.
he can tap in a lot of
Same
different
thing
sounds.
with him. He's like, in the hardcore world and in the hip hop world.
Yeah.
So I, just with him, I could just do something totally different.
Yeah,
you know what I
merger.
mean? Little 4-song EP with him. I got a.
Are you planning like to push the envelope a little bit?
Yeah.
Something
The
different?
production style is gonna be way different. You know what I mean? You'll definitely see growth.
Yeah.
You'll definitely see growth with everything coming out. You're definitely gonna see growth because like the beat style now from what I was doing 2 months ago is totally different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Cool.
I'm just at it.
Yeah.
But I got some in the works with Elder Sensei. That's gonna be like a full-length album. Just waiting for him. He's busy, so
Yeah.
Some SUD stuff coming up soon.
He don't even know who the fuck that is. He don't even know who the fuck that is.
SUD.
That was our crew back.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't even know who the fuck that is. You see that? You see that? Yo,
We can work, man. I'm always
He
down to work.
like, oh, yeah, sure, I work with those cats. Whatever. Dudes might have some stuff. I'll get some stuff.
Hey, man.
All right, so I have a lot of producer friends that get mad at the producers that lease their beats for like $9. Are you one of them dudes that get mad at the producers, or you like fuck it, if we could eat, let's eat?
If you can get it, you can get it. I mean, me personally, I don't do the leasing thing.
Right.
If I like you and I work with you,
You know, more
chances are you're
traditionalist, I
gonna
get
get
it.
beats from me for free.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just now I'm not just working with anyone. If I see someone that I like and I want to work with them, and I see like they have like a grind and things going on, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
reach out,
So he can like match me on the grind.
Right,
But,
right.
no more just friends. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
sometimes
that's a fact.
guys just they get lazy and just don't want to do it.
And some
I hear
people
you.
sit on shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like some people sit on shit, and it's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Hey, listen,
And I do too.
I do too.
I'm
That's what I'm
guilty of
saying.
it.
I'm guilty of it as
so
well.
guilty of it. But I only want to put stuff out that's dope. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be like, if I put it out, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean?
Well, you have your own standards too, as an artist
Right,
and as a person
right,
that came
right,
from a
right,
little
right.
bit. So you know what
Any
you wanna-
aspirations for like producing anything for like TV, movies, or anything like
Oh,
that?
definitely. If I get the opportunity, absolutely.
How about video games?
Would love to.
Yeah,
Would love to.
I think
I
we
always
get
wanted
voiceover.
to do something for like Grand Theft Auto or
I think
something
we
like
get
that.
voiceover.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, I just want to be a part of it. Because, off the subject, but still on the subject, God of War recently just came out.
The video
one of my
game.
favorite games.
That's a good game.
And the guy that played on Living Single, he's the voice of Kratos. He was the lawyer, Maxine's friend.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
He is the
Really?
voice of Kratos, and
Oh,
I didn't
wow.
fucking,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I was
That's
being,
dope.
That's
I was
crazy.
being Google-ish, and I was like, I want to see what people, where's these people at?
Yeah.
And I googled a lot of the people from the cast of Living Single and shit like that.
Yeah.
Living Single was an old show. Queen Latifah was on it. I know bringing
Yeah,
it back.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of young cats might be still watching. They don't know what I'm talking about. But if you Google it, Living
watch
Single,
it, yeah.
the dude with the dreads, he's now, I forgot his name. Sorry.
But he did
But
a lot
he's
of
the voice
movies
of
too.
Kratos
He's the
now,
voice
which
of
is
Kratos.
freaking
That's
crazy.
wild.
Which
Yeah.
is
That's dope.
like you don't even know. Like there's so much different avenues. That's why entertainment is dope. You know what I'm saying
Word.
on that thing. But
Yep.
now, when it comes to producing, because everyone has their own thing, and obviously you seem like you're one of those mad scientists in the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you? Cause see, I came pre-Neptune's era.
Okay.
So to me, the Congo was something that you didn't fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is there anything?
I hear what
Is there
you're saying.
anything in a? Is there maybe a sound somewhere that you be like, nah, I'm still not gonna fuck with it? Or is it like, you know, when you produce, it's like you just let the creation just flow?
Hey, if it's a sound and it's going right and it's sounding right, I'll use it.
You know, back in the days, bro,
Some
it was
cheesy,
like, oh,
rolling sounds.
So now to ask you from my point of view, when I do beats, sometimes it don't always start at a studio or me messing with some equipment, like. What is it that actually starts that that gives you that body to start that beat? Like sometimes what is it that does it for you? Like you know what I mean? How do you usually start when you're not in the studio?
When I'm not in the studio, just just being in my head thinking about it.
Like
you know
what comes up first? Like is it a melody or the beat itself?
Probably like a sample, I sample a lot. You know what I mean? If I could play other instruments, I totally would. But I'm a drummer. You know what I mean? I learned drums, so I sample.
So
a lot.
you come up with the drums first, like in your mind, or is it like a?
No, I listen to records and I'll just be like that right there, that part right there, and I'll just
And then you start working with the sample first.
Start working with the sample, get that complete. You know what I mean? Get like the bass line out of it if that's what I want to do, and then start thinking about the drums and like the ghost drums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have a process, but sometimes it's different. Sometimes I'll just come up with a beat,
right?
And I'll be like, this
is kind of
this is hard. You know what I mean? I can just. And now let me just try to find something small, like little stabs or something. Just
right.
You know what I mean?
Dope. Yeah, that's
it
more
all,
like
it all
how
depends on the vibe. You know what I mean? But it's all a vibe. It definitely is.
That's how I am. I usually start up with the melody first. The beat is usually the last thing I put.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The drums is usually the last thing I put.
Orchestrate all the samples or
the sound,
the sounds and the bass and everything, and then lay the drums. Yeah.
Usually it'll be like the bass and the drums will be the last thing I put.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll make a beat with no bass line at all.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes
Feeling like
I'm
an
really
808.
bad with bass lines. So
Bass lines are tough, man.
Bass lines are tough, especially with the fact that you could use the cornball, follow the drum method shit. But when you hear a dope bass line, I think that's what it is too. You like, nah, man, this shit gotta be dope because it's a bass line. I feel like you've heard so many dope bass lines that you don't want to be boom. Boom, boom. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You want to be more intricate, you know what I mean?
You want to tap in, make it sound a little bit more real, I guess, at the end of the day. Because that's one thing, too, guys. If you don't know or pay attention to what's going on, a producer can tell, especially a real producer, they can tell when your shit ain't finished. They can hear that you didn't finish this, or they can hear that it was like, oh, you're not a real producer. You just fucking around with certain sounds.
Yeah.
So, which goes to the question, too. Because you was talking about, take out the drums and stuff like that. So you big on filters?
I like filters.
I love filters.
I'm super huge on filters, and I get mad when other people don't use them. And I know you can't tell a producer how to produce his beat.
Right.
And I know
you got to filter things out. You know what I mean?
Some of the filters, they be killing me, man.
Yeah, man.
EQ, man.
Like, Dad, I forgot the name of the song, but it was off that 444 album, Jay-Z.
Okay.
And he has this girl singing in the background through the whole beat. And I was like, why did y'all filter that? Because it gets annoying when the song is 4.5 minutes long.
But I mean, you could have filtered it out and throw it in and out.
Right. Versus filter it out.
Yeah, a little bit. But that's the thing, because No ID produced most of that album, and you like I said, you can't tell a producer even though you.
I mean, that's just such an old production trick.
Yeah. I think it's one of the best too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To me, it kind of like takes away from the fact that you didn't try to change it. You just went looping. And to me, that's where it becomes, because, again, you're supposed to be a producer. You're supposed to be
that's where you take away from
now you're taking away, like, you're becoming a beat. You're becoming a regular beat maker.
Not even a beat maker. You just becoming a copy
you're a looper.
artist.
You're a looper artist.
Yeah, they might have just tracked it and just been like, this is it.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, again, can't tell a producer about his shit.
Right.
You learn that as you become a producer, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
little by little,
Yeah.
So you got any single projects coming up?
What, for just like a single?
Yeah, like anything that you want to like throw out, in the wind?
Yeah, like I said, you know, so much stuff.
How many tracks are on
Bro Smash is 20.
How many tracks was recorded? How many tracks do you record? Was it just 20? Or was it
20.
Just 20.
Yeah.
It wasn't like 30 and you was like, yo,
no.
nah.
There was definitely cutting room for.
Okay.
There's a few tracks that didn't make it.
Right,
you know
cool.
what I mean? But that's just.
So what you plan on doing with those that didn't make it?
They're gonna be on like a Shark Tank All Stars kind of
Okay.
compilation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I pretty much
nothing-
do that
nothing
with
goes
everything
to-
that doesn't make it,
Right.
but it will have a home to get out so everyone can hear
That's
it. You know what I
dope.
mean?
So
'Cause
nothing goes to
they're
waste.
still dope in their own right.
Right.
It's just I felt it didn't go with the project. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, you know,
Cool.
it happens.
Yeah, it happens. No, it happens because a lot of people get. It's you're supposed to record a bunch of
slew
joints,
of songs.
a bunch of
Just
joints
keep
because you don't
recording,
know
keep recording,
where
keep recording, keep
you know.
recording.
And then that's the thing, like where you at 2 weeks. You know, today might not be where you're gonna be at in 2 weeks.
Right.
And a lot of that music when you creating, because that's what I call us. I call us creatives. People
Yeah.
that make music, people that we're all a little
Sure.
off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to be.
Yeah.
And that's why I get mad with Kanye West because he's a little way too off now. But you know, you
flew over
still
the cuckoo's
you
nest.
still gotta at the end of the day give him his credit as for like music, like yo, he's dope.
No, he's a
you know what I'm
talented
saying?
guy. He's a talented guy. You can't
the
take
rest
that
of
away
it is
from him.
where it's like, man, you went totally left with the creatives, bro. Because that's what I tell people. They're like, oh, you guys act like you guys ain't crazy. It's like all of us are a little bit.
Yeah.
You have to be. That's how we tap into that creative vibe.
Yeah.
But
But like I was telling him, he definitely got in touch with Jack Nicholson and flew over that cuckoo's nest.
he went a little bit further,
Yeah,
a little bit
yeah.
further than the line.
He's on one right now, Kanye. I just feel like Kanye's the type of artist that feeds off of what's happening currently.
See, and that's what I was explaining to him too.
And
Like
there's all this tension right now with Donald Trump and like you know what I mean with like you know what I mean this country and like everything. You know what I mean? I just feel like he's taking that and he's just feeding off that, and that's gonna be like a project, I guess.
But
Maybe.
that's the
Totally
thing. like,
weird,
yeah,
but-
it's
but then,
exactly.
but then also he seems like the type that's a little bit too sensitive to those issues.
Oh,
that
sure.
that if somebody gives him the feedback that he's not expecting and he takes it the wrong way, he won't know how to process that.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
how
mean?
he can't take negative feedback.
Yeah,
you know.
and that's a recipe for disaster right there.
Yeah.
It's
Poor
just
guy.
to me. It's just to me at the end. I understand about playing off of what's going on, but my thing is, when does an artist change that? Like a new artist, I understand. Someone on the come up, I totally get. But when you're established,
Yeah.
people are gonna buy your shit whether it's a piece of shit or if it's the
right.
greatest thing ever. I don't think you need the shock value to sell for someone like him.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I don't
Yeah,
think you
now,
need the
now he has to deal with
the
accountability.
reaching. Like now this because bro, when people you made money with don't want to make money with you no more, did something a little deeper than just I'm just being creative. Or I'm just creating shock value. You know what I'm saying?
It's touchy.
Yeah,
it's touchy,
it's
man.
touchy.
You know what I mean? And like, you know, there's a lot of people that just are not for that
Yeah.
right now.
And that's the whole thing that I feel like there's plenty of celebrities that we love, that we respect, that are part of. They got their own political views.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
They're people too.
you're entitled
Yeah,
to.
they're
You know what I'm
people
saying?
too.
You're
Yeah.
entitled to. The thing is just at this moment in time, they're not out there running around screaming all of this hoopla. And that's
Right.
what I mean is the damage. That's what it is. We all know Tom Brady voted for sure. We all know this.
Right.
Is he not still the GOAT in football? Hey, I still give it to him.
Yeah.
5 rings, baby. You know what I'm saying? But he's not out there doing all of this stuff. And to me,
Right.
that's the stuff. Like
Right.
he shouldn't be. He's such as a high stature that he doesn't need to be out there doing this stuff.
Yeah, he's
Like,
actually
Yeah.
shooting himself in the foot.
because
Yeah.
realistically, how many people are gonna go, oh, now I want to hear what he really feels on this album? Like, I don't know. Most of the time, if he was having issues with Kim or stuff, people will tune in. Oh, I want to know if there's some drama
Yeah.
going on. Oh, I want to know if he's gonna talk about what's going on with the Kardashians. That's one thing. But when it comes to this, it's like, oh, do I really want to turn it on and say, well, I know he racist now. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, oh, I know he's really, and it has nothing to be, I just want people to understand, it has nothing to do with just racism. It has to do with your own views on political parties. That's all it is. If you represent one that says they're conservative, it's kind of hard for me to say you're a free thinker. And I know it's because you know, you live in today's age and you live into now.
Yeah, you
but
can't
it's
be a
kinda hard to say
conservative free thinker.
Yeah.
When you
yeah,
say
yeah.
conservative, it's just because the
That's
word itself.
I
It's
know.
like being a smart, stupid person.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
or
You know,
you know,
pretty much. Yeah.
like that's like to say, I'm a left-right winger. You know,
Yeah.
it's like what the
What are you?
no,
No,
so
it doesn't exist. You're
yeah,
one way
you gotta
or another
have
way.
one or the other
That's a
just
straight
for certain things.
oxymoron
You
right
know.
there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but all right. Would you now, because this different, if you had a chance to work with Kanye, would you sit down with him and actually try to work with him? Like to find some inspiration as production.
Yeah, I would pick his brain on production. I definitely would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, if you start talking that crazy stuff.
You might ain't gotta say.
Okay,
I'll be like,
see
bro, let's just get back to the core of why I wanted to talk to you. I don't care about all that other shit you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
And that's probably why some of these people, you know, started disassociating with
Yeah, I mean,
themselves,
he's
man.
gonna lose fans, you know, and he's gonna gain fans too at the
That's
same
what I'm
time.
saying.
So
Some
it's
people
like,
are.
and you know, and if you have really, you know what I mean, your true fans are gonna stick with you no matter what. They're gonna grow with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and like you said, the whole shock value thing, you don't really need
That's
it.
what
But
I'm saying.
I think it's just Conway, and that's just what he does.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So,
No, because it's totally understandable. Like I said, people have to understand that I've already had my own personal issues with him as a person
Yeah.
to what his own stuff is. So a lot of people fail to realize that. Like, I'm not just a hater on the bandwagon now. Like, oh, you know, I'm following social trends.
Yeah.
Like, I've already had my own things with him as a person prior to that. So, like I said, for me, it ain't helping. Like, I haven't been a real fan of him since the first album. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, music-wise. Because a lot of stuff that he's done, which is still dope,
Yeah.
is just not in the lane of what I was,
what you're looking
what
for?
I'm checking
It's
for.
not your cup of tea.
Yeah, what I'm scoping for.
Right.
This show is called Scope
Scope
This, if you
This.
didn't
I
know.
would say after 808s and Heartbreaks, I kind of gave up.
Yeah.
I was like, it's getting too weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or just, you know, or if someone likes it, that's fine. Just not my
Yeah, it's
personal.
not my cup of tea, and
not
that's
what I
the
like.
beauty of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's music, you know?
It's music. I just don't like when it becomes not your cup of tea, but yeah, they trying to force feed it to you.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
when it
Pretty
gets
much
fucked
was,
up.
that's the radio, man.
And
The
just to
radio
let
is
y'all
good
know
for
out
that.
there, y'all, you know what I mean? If I disagree with you, it's not because I'm hating.
Yeah.
It's because
No.
I disagree.
Yeah.
People getting that a little bit misconstrued.
minute
he
you say you
hating
don't like
because
me.
I don't like no, you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't
if I don't
like
like
him,
it,
right. Yeah.
oh, he hating. No,
I don't
it's
like it
because I don't
because
like
of his
it.
views.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like,
It has
you know
nothing to
what I
do with
mean? Come on,
hating.
man. Yeah.
It just means that I just don't like the shit.
Yeah.
I think,
you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's just in context. If I go, yo, I don't hate him because he's successful, that kind of sounds like hate. You know what I'm
That
saying?
is
Like,
hate.
like, I don't want him. You know what I'm saying?
That's hate.
But it's not. Oh, I just don't listen to his music. Oh, you're a hater. And it's like,
yeah, exactly.
no,
Like
I just don't listen to the music.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, why you hating?
I don't eat sweet potatoes. Am I
Right,
hating?
exactly.
I think that song is trash.
Exactly.
Oh, you hating? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, come on, man.
You know, where do you draw the line on, you know, what you're
Yeah,
hating on? You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I just generally don't like
just
this
don't
song.
like it.
And,
You know what I mean?
you know,
Like,
and
come
it's
on, man.
because, you know, it's because everybody has that need now, you know, recently. And people who made that term the way it is, they have this need to always want to be accepted for everything and want everything to be accepted. So if you don't, if I give you my personal criticism, all of a sudden, because you don't like it, I'm hating on you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with me hating on you. I just don't like
everything
it.
is.
And
Like,
so
you
people
know,
are too
you're
sensitive.
not supposed to like everything in the world, in life.
Yeah,
you
so
know
you know
what I
what I
mean?
mean?
But
That's
there's
just
a
the way
job.
it is.
There's a job.
Yeah.
It's called critics. People
Right.
get paid to do this.
You know.
But you're still telling people, oh, you
And
you
that's
can't
why-
be judgmental.
And that's why
There's
that's
jobs
why
for
I
this
believe
shit.
that's why I believe the state of hip hop now is the way it is now, because everybody's afraid to give their criticism because they've been gonna labeled as a hater, and you got too many yes men.
Yeah.
So all these yes men co-signing this garbage, all this garbage is
just
coming
walks
out.
right in.
Yeah, and then you know, so now
and
and
there's
then
no quality control.
then you get people, oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
What's so
yeah,
dope
yeah,
about
yeah.
it? Because now you're hearing a beat, but you know, back then the beat was always dope. You know what I mean? That when it comes to hip hop, the beat is always fire.
Yeah.
You got to make sure the beat is fire.
That's what it's
but
about.
the MC also, you know what I mean, had to have some content. Now these days,
There's
you
no
know what I mean,
content.
it don't matter about whether the MC is spitting or not. He could be out there talking about ABC 1 2 3,
it
Nick
doesn't-
Nack Caddywhack, give a dog a bone.
It doesn't-
you know what I
it
mean?
doesn't matter.
And as
Yeah,
long as the
yeah.
beat is fire. You know what I
just
mean?
feel
And
like-
it's trash.
I just feel like we, you know, as you get older, because that's the whole thing too. There is a gap. There's a really big gap.
A big gap
Between the older generation and the new generation sound. There's definitely a big gap. But the thing is, for me, is more or less like I wouldn't be considered a hater as much if you at least knew when your sound became relevant. You know, like we can still go back and say, all right, well, when I grew up, this is what we was listening to, this was the sound. A lot of these cats, they're stuck into this moment that they don't even know when their sound became relevant.
Also,
yeah.
a lot of them don't even realize that, you know, and y'all could hate me for saying this, but a lot of DJs,
yeah, that too,
who was taking, you know, greasing their palms under the table,
that too,
playing these trash ass songs,
that too.
You know what I mean? Is the reason why the hip hop is the way it is too.
Yeah.
Because you can't sit here and tell me that I ain't gonna walk up into, like, let's say Hot 97 and be like, yo, Flex, here's 100,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Under the table for your pockets.
Play this record for a month.
Play this record
every day.
I mean, I want these spins and I want these bombs. If you don't drop these bombs, my goon's gonna come get you. You know what I mean? Yeah. He dropped these bombs. My song is trash, but all of a sudden it's the hottest shit because Flex played it. Yeah. He dropped all these bombs because I gave him 150 grand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, marketing is a motherfucker. I've been saying that for a little longer.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the state of, you know, the DJs really fucked hip hop up. Some of these DJs really fucked hip hop up.
DJs, on the top 5 people that had to do with
Flex.
It. But I'm not, that's a different show.
Flex is number one.
That's a different show. I mean, but Kanye's involved. 50 Cent's involved. Yeah. Cameron's involved. And so is Jay-Z. So I'm just saying, I got my own little thing on the conspiracy of why it changed.
Like you were saying, you know, some of these trap kids don't know where it all started from. I think
they
most
don't.
of it started Lil Wayne.
I take it one further than Lil Wayne. And actually, you know, that trap shit really started with Trick Daddy in Miami.
Trick Daddy, like,
you know what I mean?
It's I even take it, look, me personally, I take it to, because remember, Master P was out. Those guys were already out making this stuff. Trick Daddy and them was out. So I feel like it was when, and this is the beginning of the tip-off. So it goes back to 1999.
And David Banner was that breaking fofo.
Yeah, but it was when Jay-Z jumped on the remix to Juvenile's.
You remember that? Yeah,
and that to me was the tipping point. At least in the East Coast, when we started gravitating more towards that sound, because more DJs was like, since Jay-Z's on it, I can play it. A lot of East Coast, I wasn't gonna play this South shit, but since Jay-Z's on it, he gave a little bit of a cosign for them to be like, let's jump on the bandwagon, let's be able to do it. And then people can be more comfortable with that sound. And that's why, to me, that was where, you know, like I said, I'm a old school hip hop head, so I did my whole thing on hip hop, because you have to understand, hip hop started to change a little bit from that grungy sound after about 92, 93, because Dionne Warwick and Calvin Butts, a lot of them were out there protesting that this music was not good for today's youth. And that was one of the sparks to why, you know, artists like Tupac and other people started gravitating towards making more commercialized records to try to paint it a little bit more prettier. To paint it a little prettier. So
I get it.
Listen, if you guys want me to really break it down, holla at your boy. When you see me in the street, I'll break it down completely. It's too long for this show. Maybe I'll do a 2-hour segment next week. What?
A poll on the best beard. Who got the best beard? I do.
Yeah,
I got the best beard.
So look, if you watch it right now, and you the terrifics out there, we in the building with my homie A Sharp. I also got my special co-host Rad One.
No beard.
He don't have a beard. Me and my brother here both got beards.
Beard gang, man.
Beard gang officially.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna put a poll up. On Facebook as well. We're gonna put a poll up though right now. Who got the best beard? I'm just saying, mine is nice. Got the salt and pepper in there. My boys got a little salt and pepper with Liz Webb. I don't know. Where we going?
For real.
But
see, you got Hugo Strange right here.
Hugo Strange is
and then he's a cross between I'll say Grizzly Adams and and Kenny Rogers.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Kenny Grizzly.
Kenny Grizzly. There you go.
Grizzly. I like
Ken
that.
Grizzly.
That's my new rap, man.
Ken Grizzly. Oh, man.
Ken Grizzly Jr.
Yeah, keep a lookout for that Ken Grizzly mixtape dropping soon.
Ken Grizzly Jr. coming soon.
Big game all day.
Oh man. So yo, man, it's hey, we was talking about tomorrow Cinco de Mayo. Obviously, today's the
Tacos.
4th.
May the 4th be with
May the
you.
4th be
Yeah,
with
You know,
yeah.
Star Wars people.
Are you into Star Wars?
I like
Do
Star
you
Wars,
like it?
yes. All the new stuff I'm not really into, though. It's kind of weird.
I hear
but, you know, the old school stuff, yeah, hell yeah.
But Solo's supposed to be coming out, and you think that spinoff? Do you think that spinoff will be kind of cool for what's going on?
The way they killed Luke Skywalker was terrible in the new one. So
Yeah, I totally agree
I'm
with that.
hoping that this story is a little bit better than the last one. There's a
Yeah.
lot of dialogue in the last
Yeah.
one. It was kind of like drug out a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I personally think that whoever wrote The Last Jedi should get shot. Nah, I'm gonna
Come on, man.
Nah, he should get flogged with a fishing pole. I'm serious. Yo, like where Poe Dameron talking about, oh, I want to speak to such and such. Okay, I'll hold. It's about his mother. Oh, yeah, I'll hold. This not him. Like, come on, man. You know, George Lucas would not be caught dead having somebody write dialogue like that.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the first 6 movies, none of the dialogue was ever comedic like
Yeah.
that. And like it made it. I understand
it's
Disney
not
owns
funny.
it.
Disney now.
I understand Disney own it and they want the
Yeah.
kids, but kids was always into Star Wars, regardless of you trying to water down the language.
Well, now
you
kids
get what I
aren't
mean?
into Star Wars anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids don't
Well,
care
and now-
about
No,
that.
I'm
now-
saying some of them do though. It's still part because of the toys and the
Right,
stuff
right,
like that.
right.
And
So,
Disney.
you know, and of course Disney having their
the theme park.
Yeah.
They got
You
the-
know, so I do feel like to me there's more of a gap. The gap is actually closer with kids that watch Star Wars with their parents than necessarily. how
and, you
grown
know,
up is.
I would
Like,
say
you know,
the gap is
yeah.
actually closer when it comes to Marvel.
well, no, of
Marvel
course,
and DC.
obviously, but I mean, like when it comes to Star Wars itself, it's still there's plenty of parents that got it with their kids and their kids are down with it, and then at the end of the day, kids gravitates more towards the toys and the little goop, you know.
Yeah, like my kids
So
do.
they'd be more into, you know, they'll be more susceptible, more into what the brand is. You know what I'm saying?
So how you feeling about the Solo movie? You gonna go see it?
I'm going to go see it.
I'm gonna go see it too.
But,
gonna see it.
you know, I'm hoping it's good, man.
I hope so too.
I hope they don't mess it up.
I just want to see.
I'm saying, how can they mess up origin story? We don't necessarily know
Right.
much
right.
of him
So
anyway.
it leaves room for creative, thought. But my personal thing about this movie is not only to see how Chewbacca met Han Solo and how he got the Millennium Falcon. I just want to see how Childish Gambino is gonna do, Lando. Lando
Charles
Calrissian.
Gambino's
Yeah,
Lando.
yeah, he's
oh
Lando.
my God.
So
All
I
right,
just
all
want to
right.
see how he's gonna play Lando.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, he's a pretty good actor. Not bad. He's not that bad.
Oh man, I love him as an actor.
know
I
what I
just
mean?
still hate his name.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what.
yeah.
Well, you're
I'm
not
sorry.
using that name no more. You
Obviously,
say,
no, I know,
but,
and I know how
you know,
he got it, and somebody broke it down, and I get it.
But still, regardless, I just want to see how he's gonna play Billy D. Williams' character as a young Billy D.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So he better not fuck that up.
I'm saying,
Lando, man.
No,
Billy
look,
D's
Lando
cat-
had swag.
Yeah,
son.
he had swag,
You know
but
what
it
I'm
wasn't. He had swag to a certain level. He didn't
Nah, you
have a
talking about
bunch of lines.
Nah, but you
so
had
it wasn't
Mr.
like,
Coke 45.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, come on, man. He had
I feel you on
swag,
the
man.
smooth. I feel you on
You
the
know what I mean?
smooth. That's what I'm saying.
So I gotta see how he's gonna be smooth with that, you know?
I don't know, man. It's kind
Definitely.
of hard to be Billy D, bro. Like,
I
I'm
know,
just saying,
but you're gonna be young Billy D, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
come on,
you
man.
can put something in there. I don't know. We'll definitely got to see, because that's what I was telling him. It's like, why the hell are you dropping today, man? May 4th.
Yeah.
May the
Today
4th
would
be
have been
with you. It could
a
have been
great
you could
promotional day. You know,
do the same segue.
when
but
is it coming out?
It's supposed to be in the next 2 weeks
summer?
or so. No, it's actually
Okay.
the next 2 weeks. Like it's recent.
Yeah, it's like right
It's
around the
definitely,
corner.
yeah.
Man, if they
it's
marketed it
coming
for
out in this-
today, it would have
yeah.
been amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Friday.
well, now that the movie's out, how you feel about the Infinity Wars?
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it? Oh,
I haven't
man.
seen it yet.
Me
And
neither.
And you know what? Yeah. I'm like, everyone's like been talking about. I'm like, I don't want to hear
Alright,
about
all
it.
I gotta
tell you,
I need to go see it
It's
myself.
all
not
about
mad.
Thanos.
Thanos
all
is
about
one of my
Thanos.
favorite characters too.
All right, so then you're not gonna be disappointed.
Okay, cool.
It's all about
I'm
Thanos.
not mad at what goes on. I understand that there's an Infinity War, and I understand what it's about. I understand the powers that he has.
Yeah.
I understand why he's chasing after these jewels.
Right.
My
My
thing-
whole thing is that they put a lot of extra stuff that
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
He's like, you're gonna see some stuff like why?
Yeah, yeah.
See, okay, well, I didn't like that they try to humanize Thanos a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Now, I dig the whole thing, but I think they left out one character that they should have put in as Death. Because, you know, Thanos has this fixation with death.
Death is
and that's the reason why he got the gauntlet in the first
Yeah.
place.
Exactly.
So she's not in there.
Oh wow.
So that's the only thing, you know what I mean, that you're going to be like, you know, before you bust your head and be like, yo, where the hell is Death? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's not in there. But, I mean, you're still not going to be disappointed. Infinity War is definitely all about Thanos.
I read all the comics when I was a kid.
At the end, Miss Marvel's supposed to be, you know, they give a hint to Miss Marvel. So, you know, the new Miss Marvel movie is going to take place in the 90s. It's supposed to be like right before the first Avengers movie that came out. So Samuel L. Jackson got both his eyes. He got a little, you know, little fro. I wish they made him look like homeboy from Pulp Fiction. That's right, motherfucker. but you know, so Nick Fury has both his eyes and stuff. So Miss Marvel's there, and Jude Law's supposed to play Marvel. The you know, the Kree guy that actually had the powers. So you know, they're gonna go into that. And because it's gonna take place during the Kree Skrull Wars, you know what I mean? So Skrull is gonna be there.
But that's what I feel like.
No,
there's too much shit they dropping like every fucking other month. It's like
the reason
it's hard to keep up with this shit.
The reason why they're doing that is because Miss Marvel, you know, like I said, is all about Thanos and Infinity Wars. So you know, the only person that's most powerful to deal with Thanos is Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, which is crazy to me.
So
it's just crazy to me.
So you know, this is gonna lead up to that, you know, eventually. And then you know, we got the Black Panther 2. We got another Guardians of the Galaxy. Ant-Man 2 coming out.
I was on the second Guardians of the Galaxy.
I liked it, but the theme, it was too much family theme.
It was family.
I dig the whole family thing. Ain't nothing family over everything, but it was too much, you know.
It was too much.
It was, you know, it's a little bit oversaturated.
I think they leaving Deadpool for all
but
of
I tell you this much though, the soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, that Stevie Nicks and, you know, Fleetwood Mac shit,
the music is always good.
Dope, man. It's always good.
It's always
the soundtrack
good
was dope.
When they do everything.
Brandy, you're a fine. The music's always pretty good.
Yeah, they're always on point with that.
But I like the fact that they used a lot of Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac in Part 2.
Man,
it was dope.
I like Part 2. It was cool. I went to the movies to go see it. It's just that, like I said, there's just so much stuff that I didn't catch up on, and a lot of the movies connect to the next one, so it's kind of like
to be up on everything,
to catch up on everything, man. But I you know, I still haven't seen it because I don't want, you know, I hate, like, I'm antisocial. Like, people don't realize that shit. Like, I think I'm in the wrong business. I really am, because I have to be around so many freaking people. But I, like, on my own free time, I am such a recluse that I, like, hate going to the movies to do it like that.
Yeah,
the Jar Jar episode,
and that's why everybody hates Jar Jar Binks.
Young fans. but now people hate him.
Misa don't like him.
Yeah, but now people hate him. See, they were trying to make him bring in the young fans.
Do you know that that's one of George Lucas's favorite characters?
Yeah, you know why Jar Jar Binks speaks the way he speaks, right?
Why?
I mean, speaks the way he speaks because George Lucas actually modeled Jar Jar Binks after his son.
So his son sounds like that?
His son, when his son was young, you know, when he talked, he used to talk like Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, okay.
So that's where he modeled Jar Jar Binks. He actually did Jar Jar Binks just for his son, and he put him in the movie.
All right,
and
cool.
you know, his dialect and everything was, you know, based on the way his son talks.
See, I don't know none of that stuff, guys.
That's the Star Wars fan.
That's some Star Wars geek shit.
That's the Star Wars nerd geek shit. It is what it is.
And you know, Homecoming 2, there's supposed to be Kraven the Hunter supposed to be in it.
Yeah, I seen that.
Supposedly.
But it's the same thing too, man. Fucking, they got what is it? Cage now is gonna be in the next.
Yeah, see, I don't understand.
Cable is gonna be
Cable.
in the next Deadpool, and it's like
my son Josh Brolin doing the thing. Thanos, he's Cable, he doing his thing, boy. Yeah.
But it's the same thing though. Are you really eating? It's Wonder Woman umbrella, so they like, we gonna give you $10 million for all the roles. You know?
You saw Infinity Wars, right?
No, I haven't seen it.
There's one part. It's not a spoiler.
Why does he look
it's
like?
Not a spoiler.
Why does he look like
there's a part.
purple,
Hold up. There's a part where my son Star-Lord says some shit to Thanos, which is a reference to Goonies. You'll catch it. That shit is mad funny, yeah. Because, you know, it's Josh Brolin.
Yeah, I know,
and
exactly, but he ain't got anything to do.
But you know, he made a reference to Goonies. Yo, that shit is so fucking funny. So and if you a Goonies fan, you catch on to it. You're like, oh shit, he says something. It's mad funny. My son Star-Lord is the comedic, you know, and there's a lot of funny parts in Infinity War. It kind of breaks the monotony because it's really serious. So it's a dope movie.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah,
like,
it is
but
serious.
I'm just mad that they jumped a lot of sequences. Like, this happens after a lot of stuff happened already. So it's like,
yeah, I know, but
people don't know. Then that's what hates though. Like, I think they should do that though, because there are a lot of people out there that have read the comics that are still kind of got a love for the comics, and then they go see these movies and they're like, oh, what the fuck was that? You know, and I feel like they should do that from time to time.
That's true too. You know what I mean? How many times can you reboot Spider-Man? And I'm explaining why this is happening.
The Homecoming was actually good though.
Yeah.
I think you can reboot it a couple times.
That's because this time around Sony decided to actually let Marvel do some of the creative, you know, works in the Spider-Man film. Sony technically still owns the intellectual properties to Spider-Man.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I believe they own Fantastic Four too, which is why Fantastic Four hasn't been re-released or anything like that. Which is why nobody's seen the She-Hulk in the Avengers, because she has to be part of Fantastic Four first. So the reason why all these reboots are happening is because Sony, you know, they bunch of dickheads.
They need to have the rights.
Give it up. Give it to Marvel. Let Marvel quarterback that shit the way they supposed to. So you fucking on my favorite superhero, man.
Marvel sold it to them.
Yeah,
years ago, man.
Because James Cameron was supposed to film the original Spider-Man
years ago,
before
obviously.
Sam Raimi did it. You know, so
they
you know,
messed up. They should've
Politics, man. Corporate politics, y'all.
Own your intellectual properties. Trademark your stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Definitely. You want to own that.
So, yo, hey, while we're here, we're talking about Earl Smashington, obviously. Do you want to give a shout out to any of the artists that you got that was a part of it, a feature? Give whatever, you know.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug going.
Shouts to Sol Zales, Joey Dynamite, the New Juricans. Go get that album. I produced a song on there. Shouts to Tame One. Shouts to Elder Sensei, Rusty Jux. Oh man. So many artists. Face.
Tame One from Artifacts?
Yeah, from Artifacts.
Nice.
Face, Like the MC, my man Joe Clark, Ballhead Jackson.
Some of these names are amazing, man.
I know, right?
Some of these names, they sound like superheroes.
Going to my head. Shouts to my man Tone Live. Shouts to my man Sidetrack Imperial, Fat Boy Sharif, Age of Extinction.
Knocking them down, man. That's what's up.
It's hard to remember.
Listen, and if he forgot you, it doesn't mean he don't fuck
if
with
I
you.
If I forgot you, I love you.
It's still love.
You're on the album.
And then, so the projects after that is going to be like a SUD project going on.
Here you go with the SUD stuff. Yo, listen, guys. What you're going to learn about Rad is he is that. He's the shameless plug at all times.
All day.
If we was having like a meeting right now with like George Lucas, the bigwigs, he's gonna be like, all right, so after this film, is SUD gonna be on the soundtrack? And probably George Lucas be like, what the fuck is that?
Word.
So you gotta love Rad, Joe. You gotta love Rad, man.
Yes, sir.
You gotta.
And just to let y'all know too, I'm a big Star Wars fan, too much to the point that my youngest daughter's name is Leia.
Yeah.
And then my other daughter's name is Paige.
Yeah.
But I didn't name her after the Star Wars character. She was named Paige before, and then all of a sudden,
It just so happened that.
I was
Paige.
blessed.
Okay.
The only thing is my son, his name is Joshua. He doesn't have a Star Wars character yet, so hopefully he'll have a Marvel character or something
That
like
could
that.
be his middle name.
Yeah, yeah, something, you know what I mean? For real.
Joshua, Josh Lando, you know.
Something, yeah, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Eventually.
All right, so real quick, man, give your Twitter, your handles, your social media handles, where anybody that's tuning in can follow you, maybe get in contact with you, maybe they can get some production.
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter and Instagram. It's at @asharp79. So you gotta
@asharp79.
#, with the numbers 79.
Rad, you too. Give them your handles and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Rad_Uno for IG, Rad_Uno44 for Twitter, and Rad1 or Mr. Ocasio for
on Facebook. Yeah, we're definitely coming to the end of the show. If you want to follow me or anything, my handle on Facebook is obviously Carlos Assasserano. That's me. And on Instagram is Hip Hop in the Flesh, which is hip-hop_INTHA flesh, because I'm illiterate. I don't know how to read really well, so I don't know how to spell really well, so that's why I messed it up. But you can definitely follow me on those handles. I want to thank A Sharp for coming through. I want to thank Brad Wolf for coming through. I also want to, if you want to check out the show, you can check it out on the Facebook page, Be Terrific. Or you can, I want to also give a shout out to BeTerrific.com. You can definitely tune in there and check out the show each and every week. Again, one more question. What do you think of the great deals that Disney made recently buying Marvels and Star Wars? Personally, for me, good deal. They might fuck up a lot of movies, though.
I think for sure. I think they already are. So.
When it comes to Star Wars, when it comes to Marvel, I think it was a good thing. But Star Wars, that's something that they
secret,
really,
man.
Yeah, that's some, that's like that's some holy grail shit. That's some holy grail shit. You really shouldn't be fucking with too much. You know, like
messing with people, man.
Some like Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know what I mean? You don't want to open that up and look into it and suck your life out. You know what I mean?
Leave the holy grail alone.
For real.
Leave that shit alone. So you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Big Assas. This is Scope This, and unfortunately we out of time. So I'll definitely be back next week, each and every Friday from 7 to 9. I will be on from 7 to 9. I know it's been a little bit late. I'm trying to get it.
We got stuck in traffic.
I live in Brooklyn, y'all. I'm from Brooklyn.
You got stuck in traffic. New York traffic. Trash.
You know what I'm saying? We all out here in Secaucus, New Jersey. So, you know what I'm saying? Work with me a little bit. We about to have everything lined up and have everything going really smoothly. But each and every Friday is Scope This. It's your boy Big Assas, my homie Rad One,
Smash Like a Sumo,
and the homie A Sharp, aka Earl Smashington.
Yes,
man. Go get it. Go get it.
It's out there. You on Bandcamp.
Young Ken Grizzly.
Go get it, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm here. See you guys next week. And again, send me some info, man. I'll talk about it next week, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know necessarily. We'll get everything locked in and loaded, man. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Big Assas.
The revolution will be televised.
It will be. It will be.
Revolution.
Peace.